This is 60 FPS also.
I'm not going to do a whole lot, just a little bit. I'll put the notes in the description, and that's most of the commentary.
There were a few mistakes on this from what I remember, outside of just like general like, random stuff. Blind was a big one. Aga Warps was a big one. And then he didn't optimize a lot of RNG, which is not a mistake. But it was just kind of a for fun thing. Also, there's no timer, so... I think there's a timer. Yeah, okay, it started late, which is useless. But... I could figure out the frame counter. That would be pretty helpful. It looked like 11.67.
Here's on my screen.
$15.34. Yeah, it's a 15.34. Oh, it can't be 34. It has to be a 33. That's fine. It doesn't matter too much. I watched Dodahedron's tasks on SMW. That was actually the very first thing I did, and that's where I got this idea watching SMW runs. And I realized, like, oh, it's better for Link to Pass because I'm I'm better at the game.
Way more
I care more about it.
Anything I've ever done.
If you guys don't know, this task is done entirely in real time on emulator. I think it's done with a PS1 controller or something. Per room. Every room was safe stated at the start of the room. So it's all done in real time, each segment with like tons of re-records. Like a lot of the screens have like hundreds of re-records. So it's technically all done in real time. Like it's still real time viable, although a lot of it is just not viable. So 27.12, that's obviously not true. 31.73. Let's figure out what exactly that is. 1640, divide that by 60. 27.3, which is 2720, so I'm guessing that is probably timing. I'm wondering exactly what the best time. I heard the best time you can get is a 2723. This will be a 2720, so something's wrong. But whatever.
Godtas 4 was like 600 or less, or something really small. Tompa's real task with this game is like 240,000.
Yeah. What the fuck?
And this one's 39,000.
So this is one of my markers, and you want like a 52.5 or 52.9 or something. Let's see what this gets. $31.61. Divide that by 60. 52. What's 68.68 times 60? So that's 40 frames. Is that really just 6.68 seconds? 52.7. So I want to 52 lines. So save about 20 seconds for me.
Yeah, everything's real time. The only thing that's not real time is like this one little menu. That I forgot. This one little menu.
It's a pretty crazy sword. So this is the thing where it's like that actual. This is only 4 screens so far. Most of that overworld screen is done in real time, so it's like the fact that like pumping can go way deeper. 102.22. That must be at just seconds, like fractional seconds. It's 1500 frames. Like I'm super confused right now. Is it 0.22 of a second or 0.2? Yeah, it must be 0.2 seconds. It's 102.2. That can't be that good because I've gotten like 102.2 swords. In fact, I think I've seen 102.1 swords though. But that's still pretty good.
When I was testing that, the flute dash, when you get the bird into the bird, I did a frame advanced menu because I wanted it exactly the same for both tests.
Dude, going around that sword, holy shit, that could be a big deal. That could be a big fucking deal. Holy shit. If this is reliable, this might explain where I'm losing so much time.
Frame advanced menu because I wanted it exactly the same.
This could be where I'm losing so much fucking time. Look at this shit. That could be it, dude. That's a big fucking deal.
I did a frame advanced menu because I wanted it exactly the same.
And you know what's interesting is I think you might get frame rolled here sometimes, but like you beat the frame roll. Once you hit left and he turns over, you beat the frame roll. He'll never hit you.
For both tests, and I accidentally saved over that. Also, if anyone has like any questions, I guess that's the main point of the commentary is I don't really know what to say a whole lot besides do this or do that. I should pull up.
Too bad there's no input. Oh, there is input display in the bottom left. First frame.
That left slash, you want your sword to be like in that middle blue part.
There's another thing there too that maybe I should pick up. So he goes diagonal here. I'm gonna write that down actually.
That left slash, you want your sword to be like in that middle blue part. In between the black lines of the guard's helmet. And this little rail clip is what I was talking about in my notes. You can go diagonally down through that clip. But
that's interesting. This is something that I'm not certain on, but it might be better. Notice how he, you could probably find a visual cue for this, but I wonder. I don't like doing this. I like walking right here at the bottom and then doing a diagonal there.
Rail. This is what I was talking about in my notes. You can go diagonally down through that clip, but if you let go of one direction more than a few frames in real time, then you're not safe time.
We gotta watch this shit again, dude. This is sick as fuck. So actually, this is something new. I don't know why Jadin does this, but he always walks to a wall and then starts wall pumping. And I mean, I think he thinks it's faster. It might actually be faster. I don't know. And as far as I understand, wall pumping and air pumping is identical. But he always does this for every single fucking 1. And actually, if it does do one thing, you never nudge against this corner. You can't nudge because you walk diagonal. Like, this is all diagonal, which is really nice because that's something I learned a lot recently. Is this nudging is really bad.
If you let go of one direction more than a few frames.
Again, he does it right there.
In real time, then.
So this is slower. I'm like almost he loses a lot on that, but not that much.
Time. Was any strat that surprised me? Most of them surprised me. Maybe I got a little bit too cynical with like, after doing Godtas 4, I'm like, oh, there's not going to be that much more. And then, if you see the notes, I should paste the notes again here.
Boomerang. T-Rock rollers. Well, Mutsky, he starts his timer late, so it's a little bit ahead of where you should be. To be fair, but it's still a task. You get slightly better results when against the rail instead of out of the door.
Yeah, there's paragraphs, so many little things.
So this is not actually, it's not actually a 252 big key, it's for like a 253.3 or something. We can check actually. $10,386 divide that by 60. This is a 3.1. Okay, you know what he did? He actually did slash the guard to the right. I don't think that's faster, and actually I don't think it's better, but I think what you should do in runs is just try to slash him north.
This flute dash stuff is, entirely new. Whenever the pace bin came out, I don't know who the Buffy guy is, and that just makes it more interesting. It's this guy I've never heard of. I've never seen him play the game or do runs, but he finds a frame over top of task.
Yeah, if you guys have not heard of that story, it's funny.
The screen, when you dash, I'm like, oh, whoa.
This guy named Buffy00 posted a paste bin in the LTV Discord, or not the Discord,
my notes in the chat.
The IRC.
Don't get distracted by anything.
And nobody's ever heard of this guy. I've never seen him play the game. He has a YouTube account or something.
Someone's asking about pumping up on the wall versus air pumping. In that spot, I like to air pump, I think, because you aim for the door as you air pump. And if you're, a few pixels off or something, you can get in one extra pump and try to time it so that you walk right into the door.
You can pump on that rail. You can pump up that ladder.
Worth all the pumps. If you walk right into the door.
Okay, he does. Yeah, you can pump up these. And not up them, but right before you enter them.
Press ABX.
I want to see this. As I understood it, you cannot pump on this thing right here. It's slower, but the actual door is faster. So he doesn't pump. So that actually basically confirms my suspicion.
Here's the first text box. Second one.
Yeah, a guy named Buffy00 posted a paste bin in the LTTP IRC, and it's basically the well, you don't want to pump on that on the staircase. You can pump in the spiral staircase through doors right as you enter them. You can actually pump in the courtyard entering that door, but I don't go for that because it's not worth it. You would get 0 to 1 pumps. If you time it with the practice hack, it doesn't even do anything. It doesn't save time, and like I never got to save time because it's really unrealistic. It's like really hard to do. It's too hard. I think it distracts you. Like pump less. But yeah, he poses this pace bend, and it explains how you do the bonk when you're about to pick up a bird. It explains exactly how to do that. You can't be on the stairs. You have to bonk to the right as the bird enters the screen. As the screen is shaking, as the bird enters the screen, it saves a frame 50% of the time. We're like, who is this guy? Where did this come? Like, what is this? But it's cool. It's true, and that's kind of something that I would put into a tutorial. That for players anywhere really from like 125 to 155, 2-hour times, who aren't super involved or like don't know everything, can easily improve effortlessly. Just watch a video and then you're a better player.
And in Escape you can use A as well.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. You lose a lot of time in this room for not pumping. I didn't realize, like... Yeah, you had to be off the stairs. Yeah, nobody knows. Like, almost... I see almost nobody do that correctly. Like, Zelda doesn't do it correctly. I'm like the only person. I'm sure there's some other person.
The Tower.
Oh, yeah, something that actually is new is, the quick booms. And I don't think Jadin... Like they're random, but I don't think he actually went for those.
Tower. So
this is neat. He just goes hard diagonal here. This might be worth it. Oh, interesting. So that bird spawns differently. So I'm pretty sure this is actually if you hold right. I'm pretty sure. If you hold right here to this wall, I'm not 100% sure about this. If you hold right to this wall, it spawns this bird differently. So you knew about it? Oh, that's why you knew about it. Yeah, it would change it, wouldn't it? Because you boomerang the Popo. Do you do grift with greenies and runs? And is it a lot more consistent with the boomerang? Because that'd be interesting. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it spawns this bird differently. That's actually kind of interesting because you can do hold right, and actually if you hold right, it avoids the snake. So actually, I might no, you don't do it. That lessens my desire to go for that then. Chest key.
Dashing through the guards surprised me. It surprised me that 3 spins and a dash was faster than diagonal spin and walking straight there. Yeah, when the screen shakes in this game...
I do see that. That's actually really dope. I actually didn't know it was possible on that RNG, but it could be.
Yeah, when the screen shakes...
Yeah, this is sick as fuck. You can boomerang, right? You have, I think it's 3 frames. It might be 2 frames or 1 frame. I think it's 3. You can boomerang right there. So actually, we could count the frames.
Yeah, when the screen shakes...
1, 2. It looks like 2. It looks like 2 frame window. Let's try count that again.
Yeah, when the screen shakes.
Yeah, you got a 2 frame window. That's pretty neat. I didn't know this worked. When the rat's this far right. It looks like he doesn't. So you can't hold right. If you go for that, you pretty much can't hold right after the slash. But it would still save a boomerang.
Like when you dash into a wall or like the...
Yeah, Crystal doesn't want to run, which is another thing I'd like suspect that it's tasked because... Actually, you know what Crystal does? If you get the early key rat, what you actually can do is slash, and then when the rat walks into the sword, boomerang, and then the boomerang will pick up the key because the boomerang is now past the key. So that's another thing you can do, and that's actually even faster because what happens is you don't get those 4 extra frames for slashing an enemy because it pokes, which makes me wonder. It might actually be faster than we think to slash early and then walk into enemies. It might actually be faster to slash and then walk into enemies because you lose 4 frames if you slash them. So that'd be really interesting. So if you slash much earlier before you walk into an enemy, you would lose 1 pixel for every 4 frames because you go 2-1, 2-1. Well, if you with your sword, I think it's either 2-1-1-1 or 2-1-1-0. But if it's 2-1-1-1, you would lose 1 for every 4 frames. If it's 2-1-1-0, it would be 2. I mean, it's not that bad. And I'm pretty sure it's 2-1-1-1. So you would, you would benefit heavily. I mean, that's 4 frames would tie slashing. And that's not 4 frames, that's 16 frames. So if you slash and then walk into an enemy, you have 16 frames to tie slashing, but somebody has to work with it in tasks.
The desert, before landmine, the screen shakes back and forth 4 pixels every frame. So if you move the camera on one of those correct frames, then you'll save the frame as the bird dashes off the screen.
Explode it.
I'm not really pretending like I'm playing this time off the screen.
He also split early, so let's do escape. $27.78. 546.3. See, I don't think it's actually 0.3. I think that's 0.3. Because if I have 70, let's say I have 61 divided by 61 frames divided by 60. 1.017, which is so it actually is a 0.3. So it actually is a 546.3 escape. Okay. All right, that's neat. Yeah, this is the only thing. I thought there was one other thing. This Diag BK guard. Oh yeah, Diag left. That might be neat. Chest key, hold right at start. That actually might be a big help. And then that was interesting.
Oops, slate split. I'm not really pretending like I'm playing this time. I'm just watching it. Or not even that. Just making sure I get all the notes. Yeah, it's pretty much a 50-50. You can time it.
Catch some crystal runs. Nah. I'm gonna do that at some point in the future. But I've learned a lot of interesting things from watching Crystal's runs actually, and that nobody, if I did not watch, would not exist. Like the menu at the fire rod menu at Zora Pool, which I'm 50-50 on that menu, but nobody menued there ever until I did it, and I learned it from her. How Moldarn 2 strat, where you go through it and then spin around, that came from her. Yeah. I actually have learned a lot from her videos. But yeah, walking at enemies with the sword, so that actually might be slower because you can just boomerang enemies. Like, think about it.
Yeah, it's really fun that there's still like so many new things. This spot right here is the anti-pump. If you hold up left.
Yeah, if you hold up left side of the screen, it gives you a free anti-pump.
I'm not really sure how useful it is. If you do it on the screen before, you can press up and let go and time it, and try to land on the right pixel that way. Not really a big deal.
It's sick though. You can actually do it with cutscenes. So I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on this, but if when you hit a switch and it screen freezes, so like in Palace of Darkness Turtles, when this door opens, if you hold diagonal right when the screen turns, it saves an anti-pump. I'm not 100% on that, but I timed it. It tends to with menus. Doesn't work for menus, but it does work for everything else. Anything that any happens is an anti-pump.
Yeah,
So grabbing pots is a good example.
I probably forgot something.
Like, that's a really good example, and he might have been manipulating the price pack, but it's the quick boom thing.
I probably forgot something.
You should never slosh this guy because you lose the potential of a quick boom. You potentially lose 8 frames here. Never slosh this guy, right? So in this game, the movement is 2-1-2-1. That's how it operates: 2 pixels, 1 pixel, 2 pixels per frame. And
all these rooms were.
If you do anything on the 1, when you move 1 frame, if you do anything, it resets your movement back to the 2 up and left, and then down and right it starts at 1-2-1-2. So if you're holding up, that's why you mash left right. You want it slashed. You want to do things when you're facing up or left because it occasionally moves you. It boosts you a pixel. So if you're doing down and right, you don't want to do that. So if you enter a cutscene, hold the diagonal. So that way you start out with the diagonal movement, and then you go into the 1-2 instead of starting out with the 1-2. So if you enter a cutscene with the cardinal, you go 1-2, 1-2, 1, and then you hit the diagonal, you get another 1. So you actually lose a pixel there, which can add up to a frame. So like this myth that it's 0.7 of a frame. No, it's actually, it's sometimes 1, it's sometimes 0. Yeah, this is old actually. It's faster to
a few frames at the beginning by
go under. That's just new.
This isn't like frame perfect in every way. It's just by room. So the bigger rooms are inevitably going to have mistakes, and that can be frame perfect. Every single input.
That looks slow. I'm going to reevaluate that.
Mistakes, and that can be frame perfect.
Okay, well, it wasn't fast, but it wasn't that slow.
As far as RNG goes, I tried to get...
Yeah, again, he holds up. And actually, that's good because you don't nudge, but I don't do it.
Actually pretty good. I think I got slightly blocked too.
The nudging thing's new for me. I never understood that. That's completely new for me. It's crazy. That's a big deal. Like, I just never knew it.
This has a...
I don't think it's worth it to pump here. I walk left and try to get as far left as you can. That's better than pumping on the right. It's way better.
Zero blue balls, of course.
Like, so, okay, in that last screen, for example, you, it's technically, I don't know if it actually is. This is interesting. That's really fast. I don't think that's worth it. Yeah, it's actually, you want to hit diagonal after you boomerang. That way it saves the anti-pump. But I wonder because real time is very different. And if you get a good door entrance, it's like obviously a bigger deal.
3-cycle Aga 2. I thought it was kind of fair to have a 3-cycle in.
Land mode is also a 3-cycle, and Zelma's gold flip beats this.
Oh, time to walk above the Armoscat. That's in the overworld. Right before the entrance. When you go up the stairs there. And
again, the slashing there. Actually, that slash is really good because you can do the 0 drop. You can do the 0 arrow. So actually, I'm going to start slashing you. In a Godtas that you could definitely get away with not slashing. Again, that should never be a slash. This is actually just a flat out an error. Unless you're trying to like farm out, you know, impossible rupees, but you should just never slash there in real time, especially if you have the red. So that's just flat out a mistake. Especially if you get the quick boom, because that's 8 frames. Yeah, Zelda's Easter or Desert Gold beats this Godtas. The only other thing that beats the Godtas is Ganon, which I think
anywhere else but next to the stairs.
Yeah, it is 2 rubies. This was in 20. I want to say 15, like early 2015.
End up in the boost.
So it has like 98% of stuff. Like the root's fine.
You see.
The quick booming stuff is new. It's sort of new. Apparently, Tudas knew about it. Apparently, he never told us. Except Jadin, I guess. But Mike found out and he talked to me about it. And actually, I'm pretty sure Addy knew about that because he would always do Master Sword, and he was like he loved boomeranging. He just boomeranged everything. So I think he knew about that. I think most players know about that based on a feel. Nice chest room. Crystal is there?
With greenies.
Nice rubies.
He spawns in a little bit later, but you get a better range to hit the greenies with.
Did she know about it?
This is for ruby drops, which helps out.
Look at that fucking
You need
ruby.
some and extra is a nice bonus.
I do a better. It's not better, but it's slower. But literally, what I do is I just grab this first plot. It doesn't really matter, but like for noobs, grab this in the fucking middle,
And you get 2 chances.
and then I don't go low. Go in the middle. Hit the grid. Stay on the grid, and if you do that, if you hit this right, diagonal, right, it's very, very easy. And it's barely slower than this, and it's real-time friendly, it's a benefit.
Helps out. You need some and extra is a
That's
nice
sick, dude.
bonus. If you can skip a red rupee later, so...
Honestly, if Grifter with Greenies is like real-time friendly, I would fucking love that shit,
When you
because
go
it's
downstairs,
fucking
it's
godlike.
the same amount of frames either way.
Did you notice that arrow pickup? That might be valuable.
At the bow chest, when you go downstairs, it's
Aggro the guy, and then... This might not be a good idea for several reasons, but...
same amount of frames either way. So if
He actually arrowed. You could do that lower.
the skeletons are gonna go out of the way, really, it's
Honestly, I really think you could do that whole room faster. Why are you doing it so quickly? How I can't get a 1311. My best is like a 1318, I think. That's like 1 in a million. No, it's a 1320. My best is a 1320. We gotta convene on that one.
real time.
I can't let people have execute. Like Executor, Darkbind Demon, Porlopicus. These guys are destroying me in Escape and Escape Eastern. I body these guys on every split afterwards. Every single split, I completely body them on. There's no contest. But Escape Eastern, I'm like falling apart.
The next to last arrow in this Armos is what you look out for.
That doesn't look that hard. That doesn't save flames. That actually does not save anything.
The last Armos.
Eddie's very good at he's better at Escape, I think. I actually have the second best Eastern Gold, unless Tudas is coming out to 51 or some shit. But no, I actually have the second best Eastern Gold. I have 452. So like my Eastern's fire, but it's not. Well, comparatively, it's not. That's annoying.
And then the last Armos that you kill is right in your face, so there's no arrow travel time.
I just wanted to
Going
do.
downstairs, it's the same speed if you're going down or any diagonal. So left to right is actually the same amount of frames, except if you go right, you get some better pumps. A couple extra pumps is all the difference. But really, just go whichever side has better RNG.
Yeah, he pumps on that wall right there.
Out of the way.
There's some really cool pump spots. I'll try to point them out. Like at Skullwood's mummy room, you can pump on the pot or the block,
It's safe to hit X through here.
which is actually worth it because it could randomly save a frame. Like if you just press left once, it'll randomly save a frame, which is like
really,
that's worth it.
besides when I
Hell
match
yeah.
right now.
He gets a pixel boost there. I don't think it's worth it in real time. And look at his
Besides
buttons.
when I mash RNL.
I don't think it's worth it. AB, this is good. So this is the last text box. I do all 4.
It's safe to hit X through here. Really, besides when I'm at...
Right there, he does A, B, Y, L, and down. I don't think that's worth it, and the reason is because the only way I can mash hold down is if I do A, B, and Y like this. I've never tried this. Maybe it's okay, but this is better. Because this is how it works in real time. Randomly, you're going to miss an input, and that matters a lot more than how many buttons you can press. It's can you hit the input or not? And so if you do this, you're not going to miss that input. And so you can randomly save 5 frames where this pixel boost is almost useless.
Sure, I know. Every input.
And then he does D-pad right here, I'm pretty sure. Oh, so that's another thing. He actually doesn't do the D-pad. And that's actually another thing I do, which I think is better.
Besides when I mash.
So if you don't hold down, you can actually mash the D-pad. And the way I mash the D-pad is with I do up, left, and right, and then A, B, Y. That's actually what I do for that. Or maybe it was the first one I do. The 4 buttons. I can't remember. It's all muscle memory. But I do the D-pad and the A, B, Y, and that actually is. You get 6 inputs, right? Instead of, and they're reliable too.
Sure, I know.
So I don't agree with that.
Every input is relevant, or it's gonna.
And hear what he's saying right there. This is what Barnell was disagreeing with, but Barnell was wrong. It
watch the spin dash
really matters.
Going from A to B real quick. If you slide your thumb in such a way, you can get like 2 chances for a spin dash.
This is another thing I don't agree with, and actually I think he adapted that from my strategy, where I just press A and then repress B, so I don't slide. So it's a lot easier to do that if you don't slide and you just press A. I honestly, I think if you slide, you should just all in on it, because it's just like a real time thing where it's like hard commit. Make sure you get it and don't worry about the back, like these kind of silly backups that aren't. Just focus on getting it. It's the same with early bomb jump. Just focus on getting it and kind of all in on it. So there was other stuff at Eastern I wanted to practice, but I can't remember.
I felt like 2 is enough, and you can kind of aim for it a lot better with 2.
He does a diagonal there. I wonder if that's better.
All the slopes were hit pretty well on this. Like, it's good to watch this for like what pixel for the slope you want to aim on.
He actually pumps up before the screen, which I don't agree with, again, because it's a free pump pretty much because you have your sword out, so it's like a guaranteed pump. But the problem is rarely do you press 1 frame. So if you press like 4 frames pressing up, you actually maybe get the pump, but you do a bunch of diagonal movement that's unnecessary with the sword. So I think it's actually better and it's faster to not pump there. It's easier too.
Yeah, this one saves.
Oh, maybe I don't think he does this, and it's faster to not do it. But for the people who are newer, this is very friendly, very friendly in real time. I know he hits. So yeah, if you hit the top of this door and then hit right and up, you actually enter the door, guaranteed. It's faster to hold diagonal off this, but it's not that much faster, and he does it very quickly. And I'm actually gonna write that down. Because I noticed in one of my runs, I did that really slowly.
3 frames, that little diagonal screen. The other one saves 10 after
yeah, it's like a real-time thing.
You can hold down right out of this. I guess I didn't know.
Also, notice he starts to sword on the right before you enter the stairs, which I don't think is that's too hard. I'm not even sure.
I'm a little bit more diagonal, right?
A guy named Dom Churchy came up with a strat that
back into both buttons.
He claims it always gets the bush dash, which means you actually would get less lag on the next screen, which would save potentially a lot of time. But it's going to be a year from now. We'll know more, I'm sure.
So
that's how the game works.
Flip, and you get 2 chances instead of 1 for doing a spin dash, and it really helps spin dash chances.
Also, I think if you hold diagonal to that screen, it reduces lag, but I don't know. I just do it for fun. So I think it's faster to start slightly high there, but I guess it's not really different. I think this menu's the best menu. That was a really fast menu, and you know what? The truth is, my menus are just slow.
How does super speed work in general on these ladders?
I'm losing a lot. I lose
You
probably
go from
5
B to
seconds
A,
on menus.
And you're not facing the wall, so they grab the wall. Like if you go from B to A and do a dash,
He pumps, which is faster as far as I'm
it
concerned.
treats you like
Which
you're
is
in a
harder.
super speed states. So it doesn't let you swing your sword. Like when you're hookshotting or super speeding around, you can't swing. But
Also, that was interesting. He hit early and then he did a diagonal up. Most people do right and then left. I like do a short and in the middle then left, and it saves like 4 frames. The diagonal might be better. I don't think so, and it looks kind of hard, but.
when you
Okay, this is weird as fuck. If you do a diagonal right here, if you cancel your dash to the diagonal, you don't enter this door. I have no idea why. Super sick, because sometimes you have a perfect lineup and you press left and you start dashing like into the door. But if you do a diagonal, you can
go
do
from
that.
B to A normally, you didn't do a dash or you didn't use the hook shot or anything to actually.
That's actually really smart too. You want to go diagonal right around this. You never get hit.
I don't know. What
He went down in the door. I like doing diagonal down, but down might be better.
trick is.
It's like easier.
Oh, and I said like I liked holding down right here, but when I timed it, just holding right was better. At least
For me, down right was better.
it's real time. It might have just been that one time, but I timed it a few times. It's faster to slash right there for sure.
Yeah, slash it's way better. Oh yeah, this is a fucking wiki strat. You can just dash immediately down. Like that's so dope.
And yeah, not everything's perfect in the.
You mean like go far left and then poke him and then go to the right and then dash up from the right side? It could be faster, but I'm guessing it's slower because the diagonal movement is better than the dash movement or something.
This is just close enough.
But that could be better. It's also possible that you can't do it in the middle because of his like hitbox or something. But I don't think so. I could write down.
So actually, yeah, I don't know why the ladder makes you move. A lot
I think everything in this game needs to be reevaluated. Everything. There is a lot that was poorly evaluated the first time. Oh yeah, so this is new. That's just you don't want to dash. That loses almost 20 frames. Yeah, that's what I do too. Of course. I wonder. I'm gonna test that a little bit.
I think you know, if I had to guess, I would say something like.
Oh, he stops. I think that's worse. And actually, there's 2 things here that are worse.
Well, like, I would say something.
The stopping's obviously like, yeah, I go a little bit to the right and then left instead of all the way right. And I timed out all the way right. It's slower than a little bit to the right. 2 in place might be better. But the reason 2 in place would be worse is because you can't get as quick poke. The poke's not as quick, so you need a different timer cue. Yeah, I don't like slashing and then walking down. I slash ASAP out of the door and then walk lower. That's way faster as far as I'm concerned in real time. And then the second thing, this is really subtle, and I don't even know. I can't tell you why. If you're too low here, you will blip right here, and it loses like 3 frames or something. I think it loses 3 frames. You'll blip, or maybe at least 6 frames. I think it's 3. So if you're higher and you get a smoother diagonal, you don't blip right there. I was timing this for like 20 minutes. No matter what, changing from right to up, going past this corner, and then doing the diagonal was faster every single time. Every single time. I have no idea why. And so this is... And notice he got the blip, right? So that is the first mistake. But I was getting slower even without the blip. And that's worse. And then the other thing that's worse is you actually don't want to be holding right. And actually, maybe this is why transitioning to the up is better, because it's harder to pick up this rock, because you have 1 frame instead of 2 frames to pick up this right rock, and the movement of the cave is harder. These rocks are the same speed, but you can pick up this top rock from two frames instead of 1 frame, and the movement's easier, so it ends up being faster generally in real time. And notice he got the top one, but you actually don't want to do that because it means you have to turn over, so you can't pick it up and turn at the same time. So you don't want to be facing right as you go over.
The frame that you let go of B, the game puts you in some kind of state and does the spin, but it doesn't.
I don't pump down. I was timing this, and I couldn't do it with pumping down. I pump out of the doorway and then just make sure I get the best key possible, and it was fastest for me. Look at that fucking key grab. It was fastest for me every time. Just don't pump left. And honestly, even pumping out of the door wasn't doing anything for me.
After pressing B as well. Like if you have a sword with sword beams.
Oh yeah, this is sick. I don't know if this is a good strat. I was never sold on it. The problem is it's just too hard. It's just not. It's not natural. That's the problem with it. You know.
After pressing B as well. Like if you have a sword with sword beams.
Like I think he does what? He does a diagonal, which is really neat. I just don't think it's worth it. I think this is a 1 frame dash. It might be 3 frames. It might be 3 frames. If it's 3 frames, that's way more. That's way better.
If you're one pixel up off the grid.
It's 1 pixel, so I don't think it's worth it.
Dash down and diagonal up left. Go 1 pixel off the grid. You can dash through that statue.
Because there's a lot of RNGs that it's not good for. That's the other problem.
Let's see.
Plus, you can't menu on the spin speed, which that menu on the spin speed saves like 10 frames.
But yeah, actually,
that's faster too. This is neat. You want to grab this pot and then actually go diagonal through the key. You want to dash really low. It's really crazy.
If you press B in a frame, item a frame after that.
Also, this strat is 70 frames. This arrow is 70 frames. It's never worth it. I don't know how he has only 20 frames, like thinking about it. How does he only have 20 frames? And 20 arrows.
When you go downstairs, it's...
Okay, he got the... Yeah, I don't understand.
So if the skeletons are gonna go out...
Okay, he didn't get a... Yeah, right, Griff did his greenies, and then he didn't get an arrow go. So that's... I'm just going to... That's just bad. You don't want to do that. This arrow pot is 70 frames. I think I did 20 or 30 trials. It was 69 was my best one. It's never worth it. And it's actually not even consistent. The Eastern arrow pot is 50, 55, something like that. So if you are scared of having 2 little arrows, get the Eastern arrow pot. You can't run out of arrows. If you don't get the Eastern arrow pot, don't get this arrow pot. It's still not worth it. So I'm calling that as a mistake. And even though he went like really tight there, it's still not faster. It's just not faster. And you cannot consistently do that in real time, even if it is the same frames.
Maybe they coded it to check, but accidentally put it a frame late, or something like that. That's just a guess.
I think he gets a
Yeah, like if you fail the spin.
He gets an early 3 here. That's really sick.
Or no, if you fail the spin.
Oh no, he got a 2 cycle. Okay, I thought he got
your finger on A, so you're holding dash. And then.
That's crazy. Then that Zelda beat his segment here. Although that was a late 3, and Zelda had an early 3.
Go back to B, and then you can keep your.
Plus, he didn't have the arrow pod. The arrow pod's 70 frames, so it's not too shocking, I guess.
Spin dash.
But that's still pretty crazy.
Done in 1 take. Last star most. When you're going downstairs, it's the same speed if you're going down or any down.
Hard to check this shit out. 39,777. So Arma Eastern was a 10, 37, fuck. What the fuck? That's a 1023 Eastern. That's crazy. My best was a 1027, and that was amazing. It was like perfect. I actually think that might be the best Eastern. Maybe Jadin's gotten better than that, but if it's the second best Eastern, which is very good.
And you can keep your sword charged again. And so if you actually...
Yeah, if I look at, maybe I did my math wrong, but I don't think so. So my semi best is actually 994.45. So what is that? 1634 desert. That's sort of, so that's a 1621, which isn't actually that good. Comparatively. Like, you could probably get a 555 desert or 553 desert, sort of. This is a... This is a 57.0. So actually, Zelda did not beat Jadin's desert. He did not beat his desert. Look at this, 57.0. Zelda's gold's a 57.1. So Zelda did not beat this desert. Will you look at that? I think I have Zelda's golds. That's really nice right there. $587.3. So yeah, that's actually a misnomer. Zelda actually did not beat Jadin's desert, Godtas desert. Huh. Well, I'm glad at least it's settled. But yeah, that can go lower because Landmo is like 2 seconds. The arrow pod is a second. That can definitely go lower. Cannonballs is like half a second. Actually, I think a cannonball is like 45 frames, so that could definitely go a lot lower.
Spin dash, then you can go for it again.
And actually, I'm gonna write down that cannonball room. I forgot. This is a meme strat.
But I am getting better with the arrows.
I'm starting to think for slope dashes, you want to go on the grid or one past the grid. I used to do early. I used to do like 2 early, but I think one past the grid's better because you almost always get a slope dash, and it saves like 5 frames per slope dash.
Standing a couple tiles away.
Very big deal.
4th time.
So weird. I don't know. I can't tell you why. I cannot tell you why, and I don't even know if it's true. I was timing this for a long time, and I was almost always getting better timings by nudging against this wall right here. If I nudged against this a little bit, I would get slightly faster every single time. And I have no clue why. And I don't know if that's real or not, but. Really good. You can get the 1 frame stop there, but it's a fucking, it's kind of a meme strat.
Oh, okay. It could have like different flags for the speed values or speed settings that you're in.
You can go around that guy. Oh, yeah, that's interesting. I don't think that's worth it ever, but you could go around this pickle. It could be worth it to do that.
Changing of extra arrows.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that down because that could be worth it. I really don't think arrowing that pickle's a good idea. But the thing is, you don't have to go for kind of a hard slope dash plus the nudge on the fence. I nudged there earlier in the run, so that's something I am learned.
Oh, I missed another split too. I missed a few splits.
Notice how many buttons he uses. Again, I used to use X, Y, A, and then the D-pad.
Frame counter.
Much better. And this is why I think they're using the T-pad. Godtas lobby. I think just using the D-pad or just using your thumb. He actually does that just with your thumb, and that's the best stairwell blade I've pretty much ever seen in my life. That's entirely with your thumb, and actually you can rock your controller. You can hold your controller thumb in place and rock your controller.
Or I could try again, but really, I'm too busy thinking about it.
A little easier. I menu there. But I don't know where he menus. He must menu for this, which I think is worse because it's real time. So it's not real time if you do it early, but it means this one's slower. So I just yellow that one with the menu. So if you get it, it's always faster. And if you could just yellow this one. So you actually can end up being faster, but sometimes it's slower.
You can just use a frame counter and put it in notes later.
I'm almost certain he lost time on that entrance.
I don't think anything's really too different.
Also, he slashes this really low, I'm pretty sure. Or really far away. Yeah, look how far away he can slash this. And actually, if you look at his feet, you can do it on this line right here. And actually, I have to go to the bathroom, guys. Oh no, I never watched it. Fuck, I should watch that. I might watch it on stream because I'm watching everything else now. Might as well watch that shit too. Also, notice he actually walked cardinal into the key. I like walking diagonal into the key because you lose less real-time frames. It's easier to time.
One note.
I don't think this strat's ever a good idea. This is too hard. Although, fuck. God, we'll put it down, dude. Because that boom dash gives you better RNGs, I'm pretty sure. This is terrible. I hate this shit. It's actually faster. If you're in the middle, you can boomerang the tile clicker. This is like slightly faster, but it's just fucking not worth it at all.
I would have to time this room for myself, and then the next room, the averages of it. Because when the tiles
I really liked King Kong. I thought that shit was fucking sick.
mold arms.
It's fake as hell, but it was like whatever. I don't care. Yeah, right here. Look at this shit.
I don't know. I didn't like what was going on when the tiles were.
It's like 3 frames. Yeah, it's pretty. I think it's pretty good. I hope Jadin did the No, yeah, you can move Cardinal. You can move Cardinally up slightly here. He doesn't do it. Okay, kind of. Yeah, he does. You can actually slash this even higher, like 4 pixels higher, 2 pixels. Zelda doesn't do it, and it's like I think Zelda doesn't do it, so it's just like a grip change thing, but it's slower, so I don't know. I don't even pump to that door. This is faster. And actually, I think people should start to look into that. And also, Jadin does this this grab right here, which I'm gonna write that down because that's something I've been thinking about for a long time. I just never like sat down and did it. I'm guessing Zelda actually learned that because it's insanely easy, but also from Jadin.
If that beetle is low enough, you want to go straight up as soon as you can, drill left and dash left.
I don't know why you get this. I think it has something to do with passing this. I think if you pass this without nudging, the pixels line up, the magic pixels line up, and you don't hit the, like, it's like a slope dash thing. So it's, I don't know why. I fucking no clue why though. But if you want advice for like newer runners, just try to clean. Don't go too high. Don't go too low. Don't nudge.
Beetle is high, then you want to just go diagonal.
Oh, there's another thing actually. If you're watching this, Jadin, in 2 years now or something, you can short this and do a diagonal here into a right input. You can do a diagonal right, like the Ganon's Tower warp. After the warp maze, how you do diagonal right, you can actually do that right here also, and it's faster in real time. But it's like, it's not even that hard, but it's, I don't know, it's not realistic.
It's high, then you want to just.
It's that's in real time. That's faster. Like the more real you get, they keep automated. Whoa, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. See, this loses time. That loses time right there. And then the other thing is, this is not faster. We used to think this was faster to grab this pot and pump. We used to think this is faster, but it's actually not faster. You get the same diagonal movement, because if you walk diagonal, it's the cardinal. And you can pump on these pots, so it's actually the same diagonal movement. So it's sometimes faster to grab this pot here, because of how the mold arms are moved. And actually, you might be able to get more pumps or like easier pump or something, but it's not actually faster, and it's a lot fucking harder. So like generally, just grab the left pot. Also, you can drop this super early. You can drop it like right here, and then pick up the bomb right here, and it saves like 10 frames or something. Sick. Also, I'm pretty sure if you do a very like a 1-frame turn, you can pick this pot up before you touch it, and it's quicker because like, see how you lost 2 frames there. So if you do a 1-frame turn, you can actually pick up the pot before you touch it, save a frame or whatever, and you can pump between these two, and I think he does. I don't. I used to. It is visibly faster, but it's just fucking hard. But the other reason it's sick as fuck is because he actually he does pump. He presses up right there. It's sick as fuck because you're holding the pot as you're walking through them, so it actually almost always gives you a pump.
I have no advice for bomb jump. Do whatever you want. You can see all the different strats, but do whatever you want.
If you did this with the practice hack, if you did a Godtas with the practice hack, legitimately it'd be faster because it's so much more rigged. If seeing what the room times are and being able to write down what the room times are is so much better than doing it one try, doing like emulator trials. But because like a lot of these screens I have faster times on, and I spent way less time on it, and I physically cannot play as well as Jadin in a lot of this stuff, so. And the practice hack is really rigged. That's pretty good. In fact, I think he lost time on that first slash.
Do whatever you want.
It's faster for me to hit diagonal out of the door. You know, he walks up a little bit. Okay, so I guess that was fine, actually.
It's kind of the BS mode on because of that fit.
I really strongly think it's faster to poke the tail. Like, always do that if you can. It's a signal in.
I made up for it with a slow.
And actually, the other thing is, you never want to slash the tail like that. Right when it changes from unhittable to hittable, you never want to slash it because the first few frames of the slash aren't really active, so you almost never hit it accurately. Especially in the last hit, like you almost always lose frames.
Okay, I finally split. That's 30 seconds better than my best.
That's only 20 seconds better than my best. I'm kidding. It's like 18 better than someone's best. Some of his best, I think it was a 2152, and I think my best is a 2055, maybe a 54. But Zelda beats me at. I think I have a better desert time than him, or tied. I think we're tied. I have a better Eastern than Skip. I think that we're tied. He has a better Hera. I think he's a better Light World. I actually have a better Pod. I think Thieves. I do have better Ice. I don't know about Swamp. And then his Mire to end is better. Nobody else can compete except Jadin has the best Escape Eastern. And Desert, because I know he's got a 1629 Desert. And Desert, and then he falls off. I know Addy has a lot of really good times as well if he... Especially because, I mean, back in the day it was so different. If you played nowadays, you could get some really good sick times. And a lot of the older runners, they could get some really, really sick times. If they, yeah, 2131 is pretty dope, though. Yeah, that's really good. Oh, that's I fucked up. There we go. There we go. It's a 45.95. It's an 11.5 split. $51.1 Eastern. My best is a 52.9, so that's honestly only 1.8. dead. He'll probably never play the game again, which sucks because he had very good. He's like Executor. Executor is basically Addy from 2012, like 2012, 2014, 2013. Same person, pretty much. Although they're different strengths. Like Executor is way better at actually RTAing, I think. And he's smarter too, I'd say, about like his strats and stuff. Because Addy's strats were always like completely abysmal. To be fair, he did. It was 2013, so nobody really knew what they're doing. But he was better at like I think Addy was better at very small stuff, like movement, like random movement shit. But it's interesting. Yeah. Oh, geez. Just when was this? He accused me of cheating too. And well, I mean, it was the kind of the. I wouldn't be surprised if he was cheating. Which, to be fair, I've said that about fucking everybody. I even said that about Zelda, which I actually don't think is true. And I know a lot of people wonder, did Zelda splice his PB? I just like in the back of their mind, but I don't think so. And the reason he played with webcam. There's webcam audio, so it's like I don't think so. But DTD was I mean, maybe he would know, right? Wouldn't he know? That's actually why it's Missy Sloppy. Well, when you post the 122, I'm gonna wonder. Okay, I will. I'm not gonna verify that one. I'll say that much. No, I think you're fine, Mr. Sloppy. If you post the 122, I will congratulate you. Apparently, Addy actually did. Remember? I think it was Imperators. It was either Imperators or no. Imperators is the Japanese guy. Remember Mine Peki? Whatever Mine Peki or whatever that guy. Remember that guy? He was another so there were 3 famous splicers that we have no idea who they are. Imperators, Mine Peki, and then there's a third guy actually, but let's just say a Cure Gamer. People think Mine Peki was Addy. A lot of people think Addy made a task and played it under an alt and like. I don't know if that's. I heard like Blunt tell me that or something. But I don't even consider that cheating, to be honest, because you're not actually cheating, right? Like Addy didn't play the task. Like that's in the same vein as saying Apollo Legend cheated because he made a task and submitted it. He made a splice run and submitted it for a video, which I actually think is really sketchy. But it's kind of the same deal where it's like, I think you should just not do that. It's like pretty fucked up. Or maybe Retro did it. So I think it's fucked up. But I actually think that's why
maybe in a bit.
I think that's why Downtown Death like hated Crystal, because he knew she was cheating. And she knew he was cheating. They both knew they were cheating. And
right there, you can jump down.
They both knew they were cheating, and I think they hated each other. Okay, so I was timing this. Yeah, you blip on this rock. He did not blip on the rock. He did not get it.
I did for the Godtas, but I'm not.
How did he not get the blip? It could be random. It could be like a movement thing, like a random movement thing. Because if you can avoid that consistently, I'm definitely doing that. This is the best, easiest way to do it. You can go under, and it's good if the scroll's there. You can go over, and it sucks.
I have any idea. Muscle memory. Like that little...
Also, it is technically faster to press up here. Left, up, then diagonal. Yeah, see how you nudged on the sign for a little bit? So if you do up onto the wall and then left and up, it is like technically faster, but it's not really. Don't do it. Okay. If you're watching this video, don't do it.
A little bit to the left and it's faster. But...
Yeah, this is sick as fuck. There's a 1 pixel. That's a 1 pixel. There's a 1 pixel difference between those 2 dashes, and you get it. It's the holy dash, but it's insanely hard to do.
So maybe if you don't land on that ledge, like you have a shortened falling time or something like that. maybe, I don't know.
Walking was faster for me. Actually, no, wait. I think dashing was faster. Yeah, dashing was faster. It's just impossible.
You want to have 25 rupees after that blue rupee tree there.
You know, this is something I've always wondered, and I still wonder it. Notice he's on the far left. So if you're on the far left and then you do a perfect arrow, like this is pretty much a perfect arrow, ASAP, you'll always beat this guy before he moves. You'll always beat him before he moves. I've always wondered that. And honestly, it looks like you don't. Because again, this hit his foot, which I've seen multiple times, where if he had gone left or right, hold this shit. If he had gone left or right, and not diagonal, it would have missed his foot. So actually, it seems like you don't get it. But if you enter that screen farther to the left and you don't do the diagonal, it makes it much more likely to get that pickle.
Because you're gonna get 80 rupees in the other one.
Because he doesn't like move as quickly.
Okay.
So another thing that I don't know if you guys noticed, if you cancel your dashes and diagonals, it basically makes it a 2-frame window, but you lose a frame. But if it's a 2-frame, the dashes become 2-frame windows instead of 1-frame windows. Which is kind of a good idea. It's kind of a bad idea. Honestly, I think it's better if it feels good to do it.
The notes about
I might start doing it more though. I'm not sure because they're harder. They're like way harder to execute.
You go up the little wall and then you go down right, and then there's that hole gap. Perpendicular hole gap that you can nudge on. I did a bunch of testing, trying to juke around it and then just putting up with it. And the average of both was just putting up with it was a lot better on average. Because getting the nudge takes like 5 frames, but if you go around it, you're probably going to use that much time.
I actually test this a hell of a lot, and I got the best results in the middle. And actually, it was the weirdest thing was if you want 2 rupees, grab on the far right and go up, and dash. That just made no sense to me. But I got the best results in the middle. Like left is bad. Like right around here, that's the best results for me. So.
Give a nudge. It's really fast.
And there's no reason to dash high, as far as I'm concerned. You just nudge on the dash. Although actually, this is interesting. And Jadin said there's a lot of really subtle stuff in this video. Maybe this is one of them where since you dash here, you can hold diagonal, and right when you slide, you can pretty much line this up every time. Maybe that's why he does that. But see, he nudges right here. This is wasted frames. That's wasted frames. Although he barely wasted frames. Maybe this is why he does it. So if you press A right here, you won't actually grab the wall. I gotta try that out. I might put down arrow pickle as well. Yeah, that's better. You want to do it. Start that first dash really early. That's better. That's something not a lot of people know.
I never showed anyone Godtas 2 and 3, but I didn't finish them. 1 has been on my YouTube forever.
You can do that better than that. I know that, and I know that for a fact because of the practice hack. Like right here, I like canceling this one with the diagonal. I messed it up in my Can at Burna PB, which is kind of the reason it's punishing. But this is a very important dash. That's faster for that RNG.
Different strats in Naga Tower. So he prefers to have the boomerang already out.
ACM strats are terrible. They were a lot more reasonable in 2013, 2012, 2014, but like the days went by, they got worse and worse. And they're like boomerang strats in Naga Tower are like inviolable in 2017.
In this room here, ACM doesn't use the arrow strats, I don't think.
He did not move down after that second arrow. That's curious.
this room here, ACM doesn't use the arrow strats, I don't think.
In my timing, down was way better, but in my watching my videos, what happens is sometimes I go left randomly. And it might be better. Is this a recording? This is Godtas 5. Jadin did it in 2015, and I'm just watching it and taking some notes on it. Like, I think it's better to hold down there, but I wonder.
This is the...
I don't like this strat. I think it's a meme. It's just impossible, and there's too many frame rules.
Newest thing. There's release methods, which is, as far as I know, safe for every random. That one there is about 8 frames faster, but I'm not 100% sure that it's safe.
I think what you should do is walk to the middle, like when you sort your shields in between the two tiles. Slash! Slash! Oh, I'll show you again. Yeah, so I think what you should do is walk till your shields are right here in the middle. And if you get the really quick charge, hold forward on the second slash. If you get the slow charge or in neutral, don't hold forward. I'm sure it's actually just in the slow charges, don't hold forward. But if you get the quick charge, always hold forward. And then on the second slash. And then do the sexy diagonal. And that's why holding forward is so good. And if you get the really goofy one where they're like, it's like a crab hand, where they go up, one goes up and one goes down. Just spin them. Slash the bottom guy and spin them. That's why that strat's so fucking convenient. Like, this to me is just impossible. I mean, it looks more doable than it...
Newest thing.
It looks more doable. I don't know. I just don't buy it.
This is the...
It could be doable, dude. We could try it.
Newest thing. There's release methods, which is, as far as I know, safe for every random. That one there is about 8 frames faster, but I'm not 100% sure that it's safe. It seemed pretty safe, but it's also a little tight.
That's sick. Oh, that's a good idea.
But it's the same concept. When the blue guys are going left, they eventually even out and go the straight way. And that lets you dash through both of them. For whatever reason, when two of them are like on top of each other, they have to be, you have to be able to dash through.
He didn't nudge the rail, which I always fucking do.
They have to.
Yeah, he doesn't nudge this rail. I always nudge this fucking rail. I guess clipped by a little bit.
To dash through like both of them right away.
I think this is a 1 flash. Oh, I need a 2 key dash though. Which actually, guys, I came up with a sick visual cue for this. Damn, you can't see it. So if your shadow's touching the top of these, you can dash. That's my sick visual cue. Which obviously doesn't work here. Yeah, I mean, maybe. There's not a whole lot of good visual cues. I guess you could look at your hat. There's not a whole lot of visual cues for that. This might have more merit than I thought. This Agatar is going to be like unbeatable. Always slash on these statues. That's definitely where you want to slash. But I actually arrow a lot. I go all the way down to the statue. Where here arrow is like really early.
So if they're at a bad angle and you like dash through one of them, you might clink through the other one.
Oh, that's sick. That's the fast RNG. When that top guy charges you, it saves 20 frames. It's insane, and it's pretty rare, I think.
Angle and you like dash through one of them, you might clink through the other one. Even though had that guy been all alone, you would have got through him.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's actually pretty dope. I wonder if that's reliable. I can't imagine that's faster. Is a thing.
No, have that guy.
Like I can't imagine this is faster. It's pretty dope, but so it solves this RNG when he goes left, but like you'd have to react. You know. So I guess if you always did that, you wouldn't have to react. And if it, let's say it tied the boomerang strat and it's one arrow, it's probably fucking worth it. Because it's stupid red guard. That's the rest side is worth looking into.
Going up the first dark pit, I like to walk 5 frames slower in real time. And
I came up with that actually. I think it's faster to boomerang and then dash left. But I that's what I started doing. A boomerang, walk, and do the diagonal. Like 2014 or something.
A lot better, I think, than the other way. I can catch up during Aghanim. Let's see here. Oh, the room after Dark Pits, the one-hit KO RNGs, there's 4 different things that the blue guard can do. He can go 4 different directions. And there's 2 or 3 different...
So I'll do both. I like pressing right. I think right is better. You don't want to do it because if you turn right, it anti-pumps, but I think it's just easier.
And there's 2 or 3 different...
This is the frame I split on, actually. I don't split on the audio cue, I split on this frame. Which I think most people think I split on the audio cue. So let's see what this Agate Tower is. Divide by 60. 1603, which I'm guessing that is a... 2703. That can't be right. That's really not that good. That can't be right. 21. It's not that good. I guess it's reasonable. My best was at 2714. And Zelda's best was at 2712. How is that at 2703? Like, that's not possible. Because Hera was 20 seconds better than Zelda's best, so that's definitely not possible. I fucked up something. Something's fucked up here. There's no way in hell it's a 1603. I don't believe it. I like legit don't believe it. I don't think it's at 16. It's not at 2703. No, it's at 2643. Of course. I was wondering what the hell that was. Yeah, because I think it's at 1620. Yeah, look at this. See 27. So it's at 26. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I feel like an idiot. So this is actually what 43.63 minus 45.95. This is a 57.68. My goal is a 502, and I know I can get a 5.9. So if I got a 5.9, that would be pretty dope. But let's see what I know Jadin messes up the warp manipulation, or at least that's what I remember.
So that's kind of a weird thing. It's up to you if you want to learn them.
Yeah, so you can be lower here.
Like if he goes up or right, then you want to be like right on top of him, and if he goes down, then you
That's actually good.
Mid left, and if he goes left, you want to go right. Something weird like that.
Okay, I don't think he would mess up the warp manipulation. I think he messed up getting good warps. This is not something I do. No, that's actually something I do.
That's another thing where most people are probably going to do their own thing. And if you're interested in learning,
you can actually get him to go exactly to that spot. So he didn't really mess it up too much, but it wasn't like perfect. Yeah, like right there, that's where you stand.
Oh, the last
actually a little bit higher.
In this tower, before going into Aghanim.
Okay, that was better than I thought it was.
How many pumps that blue guard does before chasing you once he sees you that you're coming.
So I want to check this though. Because my gold Aghanim is really fucking good. It's really good. $6056.0607 really? Yeah, this is a 52 Aghanim. My gold's a 51.3, I think. 51.25. This is a 52.44. So this is the second this is like 75 frames off my gold Aghanim. And I almost got a perfect Aghanim once, like full on perfect Aghanim. It was all the top row, and 4 of them he didn't move. And he gave me a blue ball right at the end, and I was like, ah. 2014, it would have been literally a miracle, unbeatable Aghanim, 50.9 probably. RNG, unlike that, is so unlikely. That's way harder than 15 blue balls. I don't think we'll ever see that again. I almost got a very good I almost beat my 51.2 recently, but same deal, I got a blue ball. But yeah, that's actually a second slower than my actual gold Aghanim. But I don't use that timing anymore, so it doesn't matter.
With that walking path, if you saw it, you noticed you can start the dash going up really low. So I think it was only like 5 frames slower to get a really safe boom and not have to worry about any RNG.
He's right, and if you get a quick boom, it's even faster, or it's tied.
I forgot to split there too.
So that's a 2810.08. And then we'll check both splits. And actually, I think I'm gonna put the splits 10 in the bracket. You see. 511 Hera is really good. You can get actually. So he didn't go for the He didn't go for early tile kill, which is a 2.5 time save, and it's a frame rule. It's a 1 in 4 chance to get it. It's a frame rule, and that actually is something that is, in my opinion, completely worth it. Completely worth it in real time. But basically nobody knows how to do it. And in my opinion, it's also kind of like, it's kind of setup dependent. So I think it's easier just to not go for it. But I don't know. I might try to learn how to do that shit because it is just objectively better. Like a 2.5 is an insane amount of time save that like it's always worth it. And like, if you don't get it, you don't lose that much because you would just boomerang the next room. Like, who cares? Who gives a shit? And actually, what you can do in that next room, you don't have to diagonal boomerang the walk. You can dash and then back boomerang, boom dash out or something stupid. 624.13 split. My gold's a 31. So that's only 7 seconds off my gold. Which is entirely in Agate Tower. I think my gold gets a 504 actually. Or I think it's a 504. And then what was the individual split? $26. Yeah, it's not that good. Obviously, Aghanim, his warp is all RNG, and he manipulated them all properly, so there's nothing you can really do about that. But it is interesting. Now we get to the interesting splits. That's slower. I'm like so certain. You don't want to rob against this. I could time it. You can get more diagonal movement there. I could time it though. It might be the same and like therefore easier. So I'm gonna time that.
Don't time out VNT. Why isn't he? Hang on. Hang on. I lost. Okay.
Nothing too crazy
This
so
was
far.
Probably the first really hard screen to get.
I got this hard. I got this slower than the dash up.
For the Godtas. It's like every single time you do this screen, you waste like 30 frames. Or
That's slower than the diagonal. It's just slower.
Now pay attention to the buttons here. You can hit A and Y right there. I think it's pretty safe. Hitting sword is like unsafe. So you can do A and Y instead of just A.
I also do another diagonal. I do a diagonal after the text because it's easier to line up. It's not a frame perfect input. It's like a 10 frame input. I walk there. I think it's faster. Yes, that's actually the best way to do that. It's hardest though.
When I timed it this time, it was so much faster. I didn't bother.
Yeah, the ACM route actually is faster.
Timing it more than once.
It's a second and a half faster, and you get an extra bomb. It's just better. It might be half a second faster. I'm pretty sure it's a second and a half. Which is a really big deal. That is a meme strat. That actually is a meme strat. So that's slower than just walking, like no pumping. If you just walk and hit the left of the pot,
Room is really hard
it's
to
actually
hit.
faster.
That little switch is like hard to hit for some reason. I don't know.
Again, okay, you can grab the bomb late. Yeah, that's better. You can do that a lot faster though. And I was getting my practice, if you dash above it like really high so that if you hit left you hit the turtles, but then go diagonal down left, it's actually a little bit quicker. And then you can pick up the bomb super late with the diagonal movement. So you can do that like a lot faster.
I think I probably trusted.
I was getting right to be faster than left.
That jelly can be in the way sometimes. Just like preparing for RNG. Yeah, this
Nice,
is
perfect
it says-
dashes.
You can tell it says play at the top.
Oh yeah, this is neat. This is really neat.
That means the movie's playing. Yeah, this,
You can move diagonal as you're pushing this. This is actually something I learned from watching Crystal, and nobody else does it. Notice he didn't. Yeah, so if you move diagonal, because you're moving the same speed as the block, it saves like 4 frames.
it says, you can tell it says play
Think
at the
about
top.
that.
That means the movie's playing.
That's nice. So my best palm jump is a 1305, which is like, who's the guy? His name's Jadin. It's a TAS. Actually, it's a God TAS. That's not real run. It's from 2015. My best was a 1305, which
Drop
is
the bombs
like
on top of each other
insane.
and pick up a bomb. When you pick up the first one you dropped, and you're gonna lose like 6 or 7 frames or however many frames it took you to drop the second bomb. You're gonna wait for that to blow up, so drop the second bomb away from the first bomb.
Again, he didn't move with the block. I go diagonal on that. I think it's better than cardinal. That was neat. Ooh, that was neat. He went right and then picked up the part. I think that's actually slower in real time. It might be faster in like task environment or theory task environment even. The reason I press right, pick up the pot, because then you can hold right after this. So if you do this, look how hard this is to do. That's a lot harder to do in real time, especially if you start your dash if you cancel your dash really early, if you go too far right. But that's interesting.
Imperators. I'm pretty sure Imperators' sum of best in his little thing was Godtas 4. It was the same time.
That's it.
I think he timed Godtas 4.
That's a really good menu. Oh yeah, I do a left right on that ladder, and it's fast in real time if you do it well. But we'll see if it fast and runs. The only reason you do it is because you can hit hard left here, and so you don't get this. Did you see that right there? That's 5 frames you lose. So if you do that left right as you're going into the stairs, you probably lose 1 or 2, 1 to 3 in that left right. It's not that big of a deal, and you can even do it with the menu if you're crazy. I don't think it's worth it, but you don't lose the fight because you can hammer first frame, or you usually get like a second, third, fourth frame hammer. And then actually Timon found its strat that's faster than this, which I have no fucking clue why. And it's sometimes faster, so it's not even always faster. Yeah, if you walked right here for some reason, slash, and then do a diagonal, you rub against this rail, and I can't tell you why, but it's faster. You actually, if you dash on 1 pixel to the right and you nudge in here, it's a frame faster. Oh, sick. Ooh, that was really interesting, because he was on the pixel, that's why he went right. Oh shit, that's crazy too, because it means you don't nudge against this door. That's fucking sick. I wonder how viable it is. That is so sick, dude. I gotta go to the bathroom again. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is not viable in real time. Because okay, that's definitely fucking viable. She wasn't recording on the emulator. Isn't that like a bad case for her? Because if you were recording, it would be like not a task no matter what. This might be more viable than I thought. Look at his shadow. You could try to stop your shadow on the pixel. Yeah, that's definitely viable. That's crazy. That is crazy because that saves probably a lot of time. I didn't watch that. I don't think there was anything in there. There's one thing I want to look at actually. So I don't actually pump. I don't think it really matters for Helmosaur. I like hitting Helmosaur's middle of the mask, but you want to hit the right side if he's on the left or right. He actually slashes in the middle, then moves left. Yeah, these hammers are actually a lot closer to the left. So I didn't know this. These hammers are, you want to hammer much more on the left than on the right. I'm going to go out on a limb and say if you're getting hit by a Helmosaurus mask, it's not because you're too high, you're too far right. Or even if you're missing his jewel. The closer, look how low he is when he hits these hammers. That's kind of something I'm like starting to learn. And then he actually does this wrong, so that's just a new thing we didn't know back then. You want to catch this on his face.
Hammer, you're right around that spot.
And actually, you know what? Another thing that we just didn't know. Yeah, you wanna grab this wall until the heart audio ends. And it's actually right before the heart audio ends. It's like the second half of the last half. Grab that wall. It saves like 1 to 3 frames, so you can do that on Hera, Pod, not Thieves, Skullwoods.
Right around that spot.
You can on some, but it's not realistically Meyer and Meyer. So you can do it. You can save like 10 frames on that. 5-10 frames.
Right in A. If you're above a pixel, you can down right in A. Yeah, I didn't test for lag on console yet, but Sword Out has a lot more lag, especially during fireballs. Well, not a lot more.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Technically, for a task environment, and actually you can cancel that last text box with the D-pad too, which is neat. For task environment, not in task environment. For like optimal environment, if you're trying to get optimize the time. Having your sword out and he only goes down is almost a second and a half faster. It's like if you're trying to get perfect times, you really want to do that. This task does not go for perfect times. He always said BL. 2099. So I think it's a 30. 39. I guess 2080 divided by 60. Oh, right, 34. Okay, of course. 34, 49 point. How are the runs? I PB'd Master Sword 2 runs. Can you believe that? Which pendant timing that what is 49 minus 54? No, my tasking? No, I'm not tasking. No, I got a 21.45. It wasn't that good. It was 2 runs though. Wasn't 26. Remember when I did that in September and it took me 26 runs to not PB? I did PB in 2 runs. Yeah, that can't be a 49. It's not possible. So I think it's a 33. Because this will be a 639 pod, which is like it should be like a 557 or something. Okay, I think it should be a 33. I'm so confused. Yeah, I mean, did you see my Kana Burna world record? That's 5 runs. 1 day. Both of those were in 1 day. Mirror Shield, I did 48 runs and I went down 17 seconds. I still don't have the record in that. 20 runs to PB at all. NFG saving quit where it took me like 30 runs to do anything. Yeah, the burner runs weren't too bad. The last one was really good. Yeah, I'm really getting confused here. So 34.98, that's not possible. There's no way it's 34.9 because my best pot ever is a 34 point. It's a 34.57. So there's no way the hell that's a 34.59. He's a 34.09. Sort of. Okay, it's a okay 34.09. Maybe I'm like mistiming something. Divide by 60. I don't understand. How does it 2099? That like makes no sense to me. It's not even possible. Yeah, I don't see how this is even possible. That's not. It's like just flat out. Something's wrong. Because 2040 is 34, so you'd add 59 seconds. Like that's impossible. Something's wrong.
Get DoorDash.
$20.46. Again, that doesn't make any sense. So that's a 3406. That's impossible. $28.10 Aga sort of. What the hell is going on here? It goes up 600. Every time I press right, it goes up 600. 600, 600, 600. I'm so confused. I have to be doing something wrong. Like, this is insane. That's actually exactly 12440. That's exactly it, man. Oh shit, dude. 124427 minus. I'm doing plus, dude. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, dude. Are you guys fucking... you know why? I put the plus right here at the start. Tricky, fucking tricky, dude. That's ridiculous. Oh my god, that makes way more sense. Oh my god. Okay, so... yeah, 2048, that makes way more sense. Figured it out. Big mystery solved.
Yeah. I didn't test for lag on console yet, but...
this is gonna be a great video to watch.
Sword Out has a lot more lag,
It's
especially
gonna be like a 2-hour fucking review. 3-hour review.
Well, not a lot more. I think it's like a half a second different though.
Come on, dude. Are you kidding me? Yeah, look at this. 417. Okay, so it's even better. .07. I was like mystified. I'm like, my math isn't that bad. It's not that bad. I know the mental math a little bit, and I know something's wrong. So 3408.07, that is still like a 3320, which I actually do think 3345 is kind of the limit in a run right now for someone to get. That's a pretty good pod. That's a 58. My best was a 50, a 601. So my gold pod's not too far off that. Yeah, 587.99. My gold is a 601.45. I almost got a 6.9. So I'm only like, what, 3.5 off that? A lot of that is Helmathor, though, I would say. Maybe not, actually. Again, I go diagonal there. It's better. It's easy. It's way easier to line up. I'd like doing diagonal for that one because it's like impossible to get it. That's really important. So if you press, this is so sick. I don't know why this happens too. This is like the illest thing in the universe. If you press diagonal down left, right here, actually anywhere here, if you press diagonal down left, you will never get hit by the bird unless you're on the far right pixel on the dash. It's a perfect lineup, and you do it above this shadow. If you press diagonal down and left to cancel your dash, you'll never get hit by the bird under any circumstance. which is amazing. And actually, if you're like a tile high, you might, but no one's doing that shit. So you don't need to go this low. So that saves a little bit of time. Yeah, it's really sick too because it just makes the room like piss easy. Also, look how low he is for this. I never go that low, and I really want to start because of the slope dashes. So he actually goes into this flower. Oh yeah, he does this. So he dashes early. That's something I learned as well. And actually, I do this differently, where I walk down and then hit diagonal, so you line this up better to work with the bad RNGs also. I'm guessing he also does this. Yeah, you barely go up. You go up. Look how much. Oh, that's nice. I started over. That's really nice. Look how much diagonal movement you get. You're barely you're barely touching this. You're like 4 to 6 pixels off.
Dash is weird, right?
Because you got a whole diagonal anyway. And actually, he barely goes diagonal, but in real time, you go diagonal more.
Against this bush. That.
Hold up, what is he saying?
Okay. This dash is weird right here. Whenever I bumped against this bush, that was a frame faster than anything else that I tried.
I'm gonna test that for sure.
Okay. This dash is weird right here. Whenever I bumped against this,
because it's possible he when you hold diagonal and you hit the wall, you move extra diagonal, and so that's why it would be slower. And then it's also possible if you rub against that bush, it puts you on the grid for a perfect slope dash every single time. So I don't think rubbing against the bush is hard, because this is easy, because you can't really ever grab this, so I'm going to definitely look into that. Yeah, that's a big frame.
that was a frame faster than
He also goes
anything
left
else
there,
that
which I do
tried.
too. That's really hard. Yeah, and he doesn't do it, but I'm gonna start menuing somewhere here. I don't know where. I'm gonna start menuing. That actually would save more than one frame in real time, because you would be going diagonal less, so you wouldn't touch the top. Yeah, I'm gonna start menuing the mirror before this, which I think it saves like 20 frames. Look at that, how fucking fast that is.
This is probably the only thing I do differently.
This is actually dope as fuck too, because why not just learn this one instead of this one? This one's a billion times easier, but like I could do that. Actually, if you're YOLOing this anyway, there's no point in doing this one. This one's a lot easier because you can look at your shield and the flowers. There's no good visual view here.
This is probably the only thing I do differently. Or it might be
Although what I should start doing is shoveling that lower. I gotta start doing that. Because I'm gonna save a shit ton of time on this.
This is probably the only thing I do differently.
Like, look how low he is.
Or I might do differently.
This is the same deal. You want to dash
Pause
ASAP.
buffer to
And let's see if he does it. He did it once before, so.
the shovel up top, but or to the.
Oh, what is this?
Yep. An extra movement, extra menu movement because you have the shovels.
Whoa, what is that?
Pause buffer to the.
So yeah, I just dash right here and then do cardinal, or do the diagonal. You get extra diagonal. But he walks all the way down to the tree.
To the mirror up top, but
I don't know why you would do that. Obviously, we gotta write that down.
you have an extra movement, extra menu movement because you have the shovels. So
Again, that diagonal, I don't pump there because what I said earlier.
try it out and see.
Oh yeah, this is where he said he actually he made a save state here, and I'm wondering, see how he went into this rail? I think that's it's slightly faster. It's easier. Yeah, this is better. And actually, I'm glad he... Oh, no, he messed up. And he maybe he found it was faster to do it, but I slash... Yeah, I slash right here, because you can pump between this with the sword out. And then you can pump up here. But he slashes right here, and then he just pumps up, obviously. So you would get more... Yeah, it's different, it's different, and... I tried doing this in practice, and it just wasn't worth it for me because it's too fucking complicated. That mini's really good. Oh yeah, this hammer dash I was talking about. So the way I do this, I think is better. It might be slower in task, but it's way better real time. In fact, actually, this is done in real time, and the truth is, I could not go right and then down with the hammer. I could not get that faster than doing the diagonal. I couldn't get it faster.
Swing your sword up where?
And also, I was getting considerable difference if you grab this on the left versus in the middle.
Oh no, that's probably fine.
A perfect dash here is 3 frames per here.
Right away.
It's just not worth it. Expect that.
I think that was just done to like...
I think if you fall here, you want to hold diagonal because you enter this cutscene that frame earlier. But I'm not 100 on that. I never timed it. It's just, it makes sense. The chest turn there is really nice because you can't grab the chest. Yeah, hold diagonal out of this to time it. Also reduces lag, I think. Oh, the early dash, which is like almost useless. I never go for that.
Oh yeah.
Make sure to hit this lineup. It's like the most important thing on that screen. That's the same with this screen. This pot's not that important, just get it, but you have to hit this lineup right here.
Just having the timer up is good enough.
This barely matters, and in fact, I do a diagonal here, but I think I'm gonna start doing more cardinal stuff. I don't like this strat. No hellway. Oh, he gets the crystal hellway first. Which actually, I'm pretty sure I saw poor little Picus practicing that. Because you don't have to. Ooh, that's really tricky. That's really tricky because he does it on the right. I wonder if that's worth practicing. He loses like 40 or 50 frames over. It loses literally like 40 or 50 frames over no hellway, which is like kind of rigged. Because that's like one of the worst things possible. Like if you get this, what are you supposed to do? And usually you dash up here. And see, so this guy's down here, so you dash, and then you do 3 dashes here, like in a safe. This is not reliable. Dude, that's dope. Plus if that middle jelly's in the middle. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, I can write those all down later. Let's see.
I need to learn how to do that. I think it's faster than the way I do it. It's just better. So let's see what he does exactly. Goes barely into it. Presses up. Presses left. I could probably do that. Yeah, you know, I'm going to save frames on that too. Fuck, I'm fucking tired right now. We still have an hour to go. Actually, probably like 40 minutes. I'm fucking tired.
Oh yeah, that was new for.
I don't pump on that. It's slower. I don't know why.
Let's see.
That's good.
That was new for Godtas 4.
Dashing's like 2 frames faster.
It saves like 8 frames.
That was good. It's optimal. Yeah, he does this. So I actually have time this in practice, and it is faster. It's actually pretty reliable too, and you can. I think you can menu. I think he does menu actually. Yeah. So if you get this, you just hammer left, which I think he does. No, he hammers down. Yeah, you just hammer. What you do is hammer left in like real time. You would hammer left and then press down. Where he hammers down, but you can't really do that because if you're holding down, you're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit. But you just hammer left, right? Which is so it's like crazy good because if he goes up, you get the free. It saves like 15 frames. So huge save, but I just couldn't get it reliably.
Maybe Scooge mentioned it.
I might revisit it though.
Mentioned it. But
and actually, another thing is if you throw that block, you want to hold left,
that
not diagonal off it.
for the bomb earlier in the dungeon's a lot better.
It's like perfect. That's sick as fuck.
I think it's.
I was like a diagonal here because the cardinal's so hard. It's so hard to hit.
Strat. Oh yeah, Lonely Firebar is also 8 frames faster now.
Look at that fucking chest grab.
You get a better boost with the hammer than the sword.
So you can, if you press up, if you're on the very left, you press up for it's 2 frames. You can't do up and A. You have to go up 2 frames, 2 or 3 frames or something. Not only will you snake by this guy, or you can. I think you'd actually get hit here, but you'll never get hit by this top delay.
With the hammer than the sword.
By the way, my throat is about dead, so I think I'm gonna stop doing commentary so much.
Yeah, a lot of times I prefer.
Oh yeah, there's a faster strat here. If you just press right, hammer dash, and press A, 1 frame. You press right, and then you hammer dash next frame, and you don't move. It doesn't move you. You don't move with the thing. If you do it 2 frames after, you start moving. So that actually saves 8 frames, 10 frames. Like it's a lot. Holding up there is really not a bad idea. I might start doing that actually. Oh yeah, I was really critical on Jadin for this one because he actually fucked up really badly.
Especially like.
This is slower. This is just slower. Like, he's fucking blind, dude. There's no excuse for this. So beams on blind, it's actually faster, but there's just no excuse for this. Hold your sword and poke him. This is flat out slower than just poking him. And I even timed it, and it's like I can guarantee it's slower. It is. This is faster though. And actually, again, you don't want to hit him with your sword. Just hit him with the beams. And then you hit him with beams 3 times. It actually is quicker. But it's really hard. But just poke him is what you want to do. That lasts like 0.2 seconds.
Hey, I split something time ago. Isn't it? Like he autos.
Oh yeah, see, he does do D-pad. He does do D-pad for this. Okay, that's better. Minus. Let's see what this is. I think that's a 41 at 5. Right? Because it's sort of. It should be about right. Just double check. Yeah, 41 at 5. So, 657. 687. The best these is a 7.1. So that's 3 seconds off the best. I had a 7.2 with the arrow drop. My gold has no arrow pack, which is stupid. It's 30 frames. But I have a 7.2 with the arrow drop, so I don't really care. I lost 3 seconds on that, and that had no hellway, so that actually can go down 4 seconds. Where did I lose that? Mostly on dashing and like stupid stuff that's impossible to do.
A long time ago. Oh, this.
I wonder if he does the crystal version. So the best way to do this actually is to hit down and left, throw the bomb, and then walk diagonal and then up, and you can do it perfectly seamlessly. It's so hard. He does. Okay, so he pretty much does it. Yeah, he pretty much does it. That's fucking impossible to do.
Oh, this bomb route is faster.
That's actually interesting. He walks more cardinal, and actually that might be worth it to look into. Because that means you also won't get hit by this bomb explosion.
Walk cardinally around the exploding bomb.
Yeah, did you hear him say that? So if you throw it diagonal, you can actually get a perfect diagonal, but
Oh, you're right at the door.
it's not reliable. That might be reliable. That clean at the end is so important. It's like 10 frames, and it's really hard. Here's another spot he actually doesn't do what I was talking about earlier, which it's not as important here, but you want to dash like right. It's like 1 pixel from now. Right here, you want to dash, because you get more diagonal movement generally. But this one, it doesn't really matter too much because you're gonna get the same diagonal movement. So I guess it never matters. Top rock, I think, is a meme. It's 4 frames faster than bottom rock, and it might be slightly faster if you do it like that, but it's not.
Every dash,
Like,
don't cancel every dash diagonal. Just where it's appropriate. It's usually appropriate, but not everywhere.
in my opinion, I think canceling dashes with diagonals is scary because it's way fucking harder to do, and so you end up losing time in real time.
For stuff like that, all I can say is, pay attention to the input display on here, because every little input is pretty relevant.
Yeah, this is really neat. Notice he's not mashing with B. If you mash this with B, so if you hold B during this cutscene, I don't know why. It has something to do with the sword. You can't move down. I don't know why. Maybe I can't explain that. So notice he's not mashing with B. The reason you don't mash with B is because if you randomly pressing B or holding B and the text box activates, you don't get the pixel boost. So you actually don't mash with B on this one.
Not just randomly walking over.
This is really funny.
That's generally fast.
And so I might switch to mashing with all four face buttons in that one. I'm gonna write that down because it might be slightly faster in like real time. But if you want the pixel, because you can get like 3 pixel boosts there. Scudge found some frame you can save in this cutscene in his task. I can't remember where.
Let's see, Skullwood's next.
But that entering that house is always identical.
Oh, I'm looking at notes. Let's see.
You have to. This is actually done in real time. Like that's done in real time. Isn't that crazy? I cannot fucking. I actually just physically can't do that at all. If I did 1,000 tries, I would never get it.
Oh, I should put the paste bit in the title.
Yeah, you want to press up there. It's really good. You can pump on that between those two like bone things. I don't go for it. You're right there, that block, and he does pump on that block. Yeah, that I hate that room. In fact, I think the best thing to do on it is just take it real time, do the easy real-time stuff. I don't think he gets the switcheroo. Yeah, you can actually, you know how you can do the sexy statue in pod? You can do the same thing here, but it's a little bit harder. But you want to go down and then up, and then right at the top is what you can switch, and he doesn't do it. Notice he does this like walking. It's not technically a sexy. Okay, so that's neat. I actually don't think. Look how fast it is. That's insane. Jesus Christ. That might be worth it. He presses it for 7 frames.
Big rocket from the Dark World Smith house.
That might be a real time. So the reason I don't go for that is because I'm pretty sure you get frame ruled and you get hit like half the time. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, or maybe it's worth looking into. I actually think it's faster to go high. That was actually, so this is something that I think is technically faster, but almost every trial I did, it's better to do the whole diagonal, and it's a fuck ton easier. Yeah. So this is okay. You know what? It is faster if you do this, and maybe I should reevaluate this because I might save time. But for every time, I just hit whole diagonal until you hit the skull, and then right when you hit the skull, press A. You can't grab the skull.
Lonely Firebar and Ice Penguins. The Ice Penguins, I tested everything, dude. I tested dashing right, and then 2 or 3 different things after that. I tested walking right, and then trying to walk back, and then trying to snap back. And tested a couple things damaging the right pokey to get him out of the way, and a couple diagonal things too.
This is something in the screen that's like really subtle that I'm only recently like kind of learning.
And tested a couple things damaging the right.
Also, this is crazy. In every test I do, every trial, it's not faster to do a cardinal out of this screen. The absolute best thing you can do is hit this middle pixel. You have to hit the middle pixel, and in my testing, do not pump out of the door. Hold diagonal out of the door, and when you hit that middle pixel, dash, or 1 pixel before, 2 pixels before, don't go past it, but just hit that middle pixel. Nothing else matters.
A couple things damaging the right pokey.
And for me, that was always the fastest.
A couple diagonal.
But yeah, this is neat. You want to hold right, and you want to grab this before you go too far right? So, worst case, you don't want to go past this. You never want to go past this. So you want to grab the pot pretty early. But the thing is, once you grab it, you can't hold up because you'll nudge. So you want to hold diagonal, which is kind of neat. And then you want to throw it really soon, too. It's the same deal here, although it's actually... And actually, this is also neat. This is how the anti-pumping works. When you grab this pot, hit diagonal. He doesn't do it. It doesn't look like. When you want to grab that pot, so if you grab it right in the middle, and if you grab the pot right in the middle, and you hit diagonal during the pot animation, half the time you'll go above the pot, half the time you go through the pot. But if you're a pixel low, which you always want to grab this a pixel low, and you grab the pot, you'll never go above it. You'll always go smooth. And that's really big because that saves an anti-pump, and it's completely free. Yeah, I think this is a really good... you don't need to do this raw dashes, but going up and just doing that like simple and smart is good. You don't need to slash that too, but it's relative. I actually think the 3 slash there is slower than timing it. There's a really easy visual cue. Oh, so I actually did that once randomly, and I was like, oh, I wonder if that's faster. Like a week ago. Apparently it is.
And if you fall from the top of that hole, it's faster by a bit.
I don't know if that's reliable, though. Let's find out.
This room has some fun backup strats.
So it's easier because you can't nudge on this. And this looks dangerous. It looks like he would get hit there, but actually, the truth is, the top of Link's head is like super hard to walk into things. You could get frame rolled here, though. I have no idea. I honestly don't think so.
And if you fall from the top of that hole, this room has some fun backup strats.
He said something earlier.
And if you fall from the top of that hole,
I've never done that fast.
Faster by a bit, and it's kind of safe too.
Yeah, not a frame perfect moth. He did get the early heart, and it's a task, obviously.
Right.
Alright, let's see what this is. I think 2760 is what it is, so it's 18, so it's a 4618, 0.73. But you can see how behind the timer is now. But who cares about the timer, because the frame counters were accurate. Yeah, 513 Skull Woods. That's really crazy. I wonder where he saves so much time. Because Zelda is a 518 and has no early bomb jump. So 516 with early bomb jump. Actually, it's closer to 517. Like maybe you could probably get 517.9. So 516.9. Wherever he's losing 3 seconds. Besides like perfect movement. It's probably 1 second on the overroll if perfect movement. I honestly don't know. Maybe it's just like little stuff that adds up.
From the bottom is different on that spike there.
I actually don't do diagonals on that flip menu, and I have the best Palace Gold, so I think it's bad.
When I did the bottom one,
yeah, this is neat. This strat's like really stupid.
To this point on the floor, and then you go down.
I hate it. Never do that shit. when you hit the
like I went
slope,
to, like, some dark line
you actually pixel boost left.
Went down right, but
you don't get a perfect edge, and that's why it gives you a quick warp, which is like crazy.
Generally faster, I think, by a couple frames, and then going at top of the hole was another few.
I found holding right there was better than doing the down and the right.
Because you don't have to walk so far into the hole. If you go
actually, did you see that diagonal right there for that dash? That's probably a good idea because it means you get a slip dash. So that's something. It's not even a slip dash even. This is something about dashing on slopes. Is if you ever dash early, you'll nudge against this, and then you get a random slip dash. So you want to always dash either on the grid or above the grid. So if you cancel this with a diagonal, you almost always above the grid.
Walk so far into the hole. If you go from the bottom, you have to like walk all the way up. But if you're walking in from the top,
I don't think this strat's worth it.
You already cut into the hole a little bit.
Another thing I noticed, so this is actually slightly slower. This is like 3 frames. On that, you want it. That's a 1 frame dash. Left and right, it's always 3 frames slower. You either nudge or you get a bad slip dash. If you hit the 1 frame, you get a good slip dash.
Your fall faster.
Yeah, and this is something I found like 6 months ago. You want to grab that skull on the right, not the left. Counterintuitive, but for some reason you get more land movement. I don't know.
For this dash going east against this ledge here, it's the same frames if you're at the bottom or the top. Because you dash through the grass here, or if you're at the top.
Also, the entering the cutscenes, that's something that's new.
It's the same.
Oh, look how high it was. That's new.
The screen was hard to get right.
You can actually pump lower there, and dash lower, but...
Because there's so many little dashes, but... I think this gets.
Oh, that's neat. I've never seen that before in my life. Actually, I'm sure I have. I just stopped going for it. Yeah, I'm sure I have seen this.
Gets everything. Yeah, I never do that. Anything close to that in runs. But those are all the spots.
So I actually want to check something here. I'm guessing my Ice Palace Gold gets fucked by Jadin right here. But my Ice Palace Gold, if my memory serves correctly, it's only 2 seconds off. It's Godtas split. Is it 23? He's at 18.73. It's a 5. So that's a 5.28. Really, that's a 55.28. My best was a 55.7. That's fucked, dude. My best was so good here. Jesus Christ. So I only lost like a second.
Yeah. With a flute dash, the ones get lined up are definitely. I tested that.
Jesus dash. You get the lane. You run on the lane.
Skullwoods couldn't line up with anything.
That was really good. Ooh, I need to learn that. Jesus Christ, dude. That's actually faster if you go down and up.
This was tight, but a little bit faster.
Yeah. If you're bad, it actually could save like. Oh, that was neat. He did it very tight. See, I don't do that well. You can save almost 20 frames if you like aren't optimized and everything. Yeah, look at this. So he actually swims to the rock and then does a very quick down up, which is something I'll have to look into.
This was tight, but a little bit faster.
That's good.
Crystal set up for the post-ether bird dash.
The early fire rod, which is a frame rule.
Was it already guaranteed for the bird thing?
Jeez, that's crazy. You see that shit?
Hey, I'll try to split this time. %50 chance. So this room.
If you dash early, it takes 2 frames over the latest possible dash. That's what I was getting. So I've done that faster in real time a number of times. That's 5/17 I was getting. Yeah, the absolute best thing I was doing, and it's even doable in runs, is
so this room. I found it's usually a frame faster to tap.
Hold right, and then right when you hear the ding, press down and let go of right. Press down, or maybe no, it was just let go of right, and then you just hope you land right here, and do a very quick pot grab, release with the diagonal and the dash left.
Down here.
So he like clips in the pot,
Just hold down.
which I'm guessing he's losing frames because he's farther right, and then this is all like slightly slower. But that loses like 5 frames on what I was talking about, or like 3 to 5 or something. You can pump on those blocks. I don't know if it's faster. I never saw a gain, but
all tied.
Why not? You don't lose anything.
But that one was like.
That's neat.
After everything, it was consistent the most.
Yeah, that's sick as fuck.
And like all tied. But that one was like.
Maybe I should do this.
There were a few different strats.
It should be the same frames, but this is pretty dope.
But that one was like. After everything, it was consistent the most.
So that's not reliable unless this guy's like way up here, because sometimes he'll block you. The reason you would do this though,
There were like different strats that were all.
the reason you would do this though, I just realized, is that if you place the bomb super early,
That one was like.
it gives you better.
After everything, it was consistent the most.
You can deboost. So if you place the bomb really late and then place this bomb really early, it like they go down at the same time. So I might steal that a little bit. But I don't know because I like what I do there. And a lot of this stuff is like you gotta get more real time.
Eventually, I did get it faster than anything else, but in general, like real time, like on average, a lot we're just tying all over the place.
Sick.
Into the frame.
That's sick.
You know, I thought that too. I thought that when you're in the water, your direction might, have an influence on your hitbox.
That water thing.
So I tested it out a little bit, and it just seems that way. Like your position is.
Makes
really
the fall, dude. I'm not sure. I think Jade is wrong on that actually, because I think this game actually is 3-dimensional, and so when you're in the water, you are at an angle. Your top half is in front, and your bottom half is behind. You're like swimming forward, and so actually, when your position, your direction actually, I do think changes whether you hit a whirlpool or not, because your feet need to be hit the whirlpool, not your head, because your head's forward. So I actually do think he's right on that.
Weird animation or a weird. It just has a weird graphic.
Because this game's 3-dimensional, which is really funny.
Seems that way.
It's 3-dimensional and a 2-dimensional camera.
Static. It just has a weird animation or a weird.
I think my strat's faster here, but I don't know.
That makes you think that that's happening.
Yeah, this hammer shot's sick. It's really easy to buy by people should do it. And that was interesting. He slid against that corner. I wonder if that's reliable.
That's happening.
Yeah, notice he did that. That's faster than I do. It's like 2 frames faster than I do. If I understood that room better, I'd probably could do it faster. You can turn down there.
Frame advance one of the whirlpools, like to see if I can get a little advantage in.
I like hammering, but he's through the pot.
Flick backwards, because it looks like your hitbox is at your butt.
It is. He's right.
Advance going up to a
as far as I'm concerned.
Flipping my butt out to the to the warp, but it was the same.
That kills the 3.
That's Waffle found that fire bar.
So I think Shadow strat faster here than what he did. Which is pretty cool.
The 1 frame over, stopping it right before the bird. And 2 frames over, like way before.
If you want to know how savage my Palace is, it's fucking like 2 seconds slower than that. Like gold. It could go down a whole second, which is like fucking insane. That's how savage my fucking ice is. $31.43. I think it's 31.20, right? 3,120. So 23. Okay, so my ice is like 3.5 off, 4 off, but still, that's so good. Yeah, 604.99. My deal's a 608.65. So it's like 3.5. That's still good on my end. I lost like a second and a half. I lost a second on the overworld cleanly. Half a second in the jelly switch room. And then, I mean, just obviously like a little bit of time here and there. Swap is another split I almost tied him on. Actually, I don't think so, but I wonder. Because I almost got a 638 swap. So you don't need to do that. If you just walk right and then dash left, it's faster. By the way, that walk right to the end, dash left,
any notes for small.
100% guaranteed. By far the best thing you can do. Everybody needs to do that. Pick that up. Like, stop doing these weird mean strats. Slashing that kills him, and it reduces. Do you guys feel that lag? It reduces lag.
I'm curious to see what the swamp time is. Usually, swamp is like a dungeon that
I think it's faster if you hold diagonal there. Oh, but the puppy's nice.
But after doing Godtas, I had a lot of fun with the rooms. Because each individual room is like, there's so many things that you do in this dungeon that you don't really do anywhere else in the game, like movement-wise. So I'll probably have a little bit more fun with this dungeon from now on. Just because there's more stuff to aim for than
I really like Swamp as well.
Aim for as much. Like the swimming. I'll point out the swimming in a little bit. If you
jump into
the water and you start mashing A or whatever button right away, you get a pump earlier, but your pump is not like boosted.
Well, he's right on that, and it's weird, and I don't think it's 100%.
And what I mean is like, you want to wait till you get some initial momentum from your movement, and then when you pump, it pushes you out a lot faster.
It's sick.
And I changed to dash right here. I guess I mistimed it the other way.
So I think the dash, I think what he's messing up on there is that you actually want to stop your dash early, hammer the pot early, because you can hammer them early, and then walk into the key when the key spawns, and then walk into the key and then dash down. That's the best way to do it. And you want to, if you walk, you want to hammer it early. But when I was timing walking, and it's just generally more reliable.
So when you jump into the water, you have that little splash animation that comes out. Wait for that to be near the end.
That's actually what I do, and I like in
a lot faster boost off
separately. I separately learned that. Notice that up lefty there. I wonder if that's better. I doubt it, but yeah, I separately started doing that thing.
This little hammer dash saves like 20 or 22 frames, so
you actually don't need to do a full diagonal.
Even with a hammer, it's still
left with a hammer dash, you can walk and then hit down early, like super early.
A little bit bad RNG.
And then also, Jadin, if you're watching this new strat, kill those guys, kill as many guys as you can in that room. So the best way to do that actually is to dash out and kill the red guy, and then go up and then dash out again. Or like if you do the hammer dash and on the first time you kill him with the hammer, that saves a lot of time because on the way out you can kill the blue guy with a slash, and then that saves like a ton of time. There's a bunch of like really crazy ways to kill them, but if you ever make another Godtas, look into that shit because there's some really cool shit you can do.
This room is.
It's the same with this. So if that blue skeleton blocks you, kill him with the hammer right there. It actually saves time and lag on the cutscene, and it's like guaranteed because the beam will hit the switch, but the hammer won't. And then another thing you can do is if you can actually start a dash here, which is easier, dash all the way here, beam left, but it only works if he's shocking. So I'm actually going to write that down because I'm going to learn that.
Well, the frames, that room is one of the bigger time losses for a small room anyway. It's just a little complex for me. You'll see, these, it's not the same, I don't think. That room right there, when you go left and right, if you just time it a certain way, if you just do that the same timing, then for the third pump you just hold straight down right, and you go fast down right into the stairs. So it's pretty much different timing depending on the stretch of water that you're swimming in. Because sometimes you don't want to wait to optimize your momentum and get the fastest swim pump. Sometimes, like in this one, you just want to do mid one. Like that.
I actually found a better way to do that as well, and it's really fun and sick. So I stopped doing it entirely because I just do the dash out strat at the top. But if you change the direction to right again, it's the same thing going into the stairs in pod. Change it to a right again, you can actually hold diagonal. Right here, it's perfectly easy to time. Again, an easier instant hammer dash, so... Right there, you don't have to do that turn. It's a shit ton easier in real time. It actually ends up being faster. Also, menuing at the corner is not good. Yeah, thanks for the follow, dude. So that's better. There's two ways to do that. But that one's better, I'm pretty sure.
It's actually kind of hard to save time with...
Oh, okay, two things here. One... Yeah, it's a proc. Yeah, Nubico? I'm pretty sure I hookshot... I actually hookshot off before the statue. I tried timing it for a while. It's super, like... These are like the same frames. I hookshot right here because you just don't want the cardinal movement. But if you also can go past it and hookshot the corner. I gotta reevaluate that. I really need to reevaluate that because some new ideas are coming in my head right now. Watching my VODs has been a really crazy experience. So, something in real time, I stopped pumping out of the store to get a better hook dash. This hook dash is the most important part of the screen. For the beginning. So, I think that's better. So, from what I understand, you want to grab this as far to the right as you can, which he does. You can actually push this up. And then right now hit diagonal. Down left. So up diagonal left, down diagonal left. He doesn't do that, and he's a little bit high. And then right here, he loses time on that. So if you do the diagonal, it's perfect. It's perfect. And actually, you don't have to push the switch all the way up, like the statue all the way up. So he loses a little bit of time on that. Yeah.
It's actually kind of hard to.
Like this is good enough, actually.
Save time with the hook shot right here.
He's right about that too. Which is...
Over a dash down, especially if you're forced to dash, but...
Yeah, this is something I found. So if this guy's in the way, don't pump out of the store. You actually can technically pump and save time. It's not worth it though. Just hold diagonal until your ears touch this wall and then slash. Beam him and then dash. It's always faster. Or actually, you would beam in the middle of the room and then dash. But
And that walking does actually save some more frames as well, maybe 3 to 5. I was content with just doing the 2 dashes, but
that was an old strat. That's something we learned. You can beam in.
Would be the same, but after testing, it is.
I hate this screen, and I am that was interesting. Wow. I never thought I saw that. I see that.
I didn't get the drop. I didn't get the bomb drop anywhere from those enemies.
So walking into that key was faster for me. Oh, look at that shit. That's great. Oh, that's real nice.
It was like it's next in line, but I wouldn't, risk a 50-50 over just picking up the bomb at that point.
The first few hookshots lag. I don't know why, and I don't even know if they always lag, but if you hookshot really high, they don't lag, I'm pretty sure, so it will save time generally. Also, this doesn't have the hookshot, the Argus menu. If you menu and Argus is in the top half of the screen, he moves during the menu, which saves 17 frames, up to 17 frames. So it's just that was recent, like a few months ago. Also, again, because this was made in 2015 and in 2016 we found the crystals. You want to grab these crystals on your face, but for when the boss dies and you grab the heart, if you grab the heart on the bottom half of the screen, you actually want to grab the crystals at your feet and the very top pixel, the very bottom pixel of your feet actually. And so the crystal will actually hit the water. You'll see the water animation and then you pick it up, but it actually is faster. It's like 2 frames faster than just touching your feet.
Return of the Jedi, I think.
It's pretty funny.
One was Meyer. Pretty much no.
Yeah, so a lot of the time loss he actually has on these is a lot of it is just the crystal stuff. Like it's like 3 seconds total. So he didn't get fucked that hard, but he still probably lost like 2, maybe a second half.
Pretty much.
Look at this shit. Okay, look at the frame counter. Yeah, so if this actually stops at 54, it's the last. What the fuck is that, dude? 59.25. That's crazy. This is a 36.63. I was frames off of hitting a... I missed the 0 cycle. Off getting a 38. Which would have been 2 seconds off this. Which is fucking how good, like, Swamp has changed. How much Swamp has changed, but... 38's definitely possible. Because I almost got a few other ones outside of that. But yeah, that's still really good.
Meyer.
That's slower. That menu's slower. You actually want to menu before you hit that and then time it. But I like menuing on it because it's a real time thing. Zelda doesn't do it though.
This one I like to hit A the frame before start. So no matter where you are, you can walk precisely into the quick court.
I actually think if you're
in the super speed state, if you move diagonal left, your first 2 movements or your first 2 frames of movement do.
That's also slower than just going diagonal.
So you don't want to really go for that. You don't really want to rely on that. Going for a quick work.
You can pub there, but I don't think it's worth it. And I don't think this menu's a good idea either. He did 4 there, which is... It's just not real-time friendly.
I changed this menu. I bring right hand over to hit left and just smash it 4 times really fast. I think it's way better than up, down, up, right, down, or whatever 3 you want to use.
This is why I'm gonna do it, guys. Fucking late fire rod. Late fire rod, guys, or late ice rod rather.
Just smash 4 as fast as you can.
I think Zelda strat's better here, where you you go through the rail. I'm gonna retime lay ice rod. Might be faster.
For that little jelly, if you're holding down left and you hit that little conveyor that's going down, Oh yeah, that's the little neat thing. If you hit that little conveyor that's going down, it'll point you, it'll pivot you to face down. So hit down before left there.
That's weird. I've never heard of that before.
For that little jelly, if you're holding down left and you hit that little conveyor that's going...
It doesn't hit down. Maybe the emulator skips it. No, he doesn't this time.
For that little jelly, if you're holding down left and you hit that little conveyor that's going down... Oh yeah, that's the little neat thing. If you hit that little conveyor that's going down, it'll point you, it'll pivot you to face down. So hit down before left there. Before I thought this little thing only saved a few frames in real time, but testing it here, it saves like 7 or 8. So I like it a little bit
I
more.
don't think this is worth it. It's too like hard.
A lot of times I didn't feel like I would save 3 frames. I wouldn't be consistent enough to save 3 frames.
I get diagonal here as well. It's just fucking way easier.
Yeah. At least I'm more interested in this kind of thing.
I think menu here is wrong. That's slower actually.
I think there's a couple frames of leeway with the fireball.
Go to the left.
Go up here, by the way. It's big. Go up to the wall. Biggest time saver in the game. You gotta go up to the wall before you skip the gold sword and do tempered runs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is new. Most people hit diagonal and then they grab it. They go above. That's just new.
Oh, hold down.
That's a meme strat.
Down left.
Not like it.
Because if you hold down left, it
This is sick as fuck.
snaps you and messes up with your left dash after that. So just hold straight down and dash left, and you won't nudge off of the thing there.
That room's weird. That room's really weird because you actually want to place the block on the leftmost you can, and then you have to delay your dash. And actually, honestly, I don't think he did this optimally.
Dash left, and you won't nudge off of the thing there.
You want to place the block earlier because it's quicker, but you actually want to place the block on the farthest left so you don't nudge in the door. Because you have to delay yourself anyway. So if you place this block super far left, you still have to delay your dash, but you don't nudge on the door, which is like, it's just really tricky. So in real time, place it on the left is way better.
Yeah, this.
Don't kill the skeleton. If you do that, don't kill the skeleton. It loses 4 frames.
It's like 3 frames slower.
It's actually 4. The K dash is 0.1 second faster. I don't think it's so variable. I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, this is sick as fuck. I found this. You can actually skip the anti-fairies. I did it once ever. It's very hard. You need a first frame bomb, and you need to throw it on the far right pixel. And if you throw it on the far right pixel, you can dash basically in the middle, and you don't nudge this, and it saves like 10 frames. But you can skip the anti-fairies.
You get a little...
This arrow is why I think this is actually faster if you do late fire rod.
Way on where to throw the bomb.
Or late ice rod.
So if you're not on the right pixel...
And if you skip the fairies, if you beat the fairies, you don't skip them, but if you beat the anti-fairies, you actually can do a hard diagonal out of that, and it's so sick. But will anybody ever do that in a run? I don't think so.
You know, hit left and A to throw it. Up left and A. And be on the right pixel.
Oh, that's sick. That's way faster than I've ever done.
You know, hit left and A to throw it. Up left and A.
So he beat the
right
anti-fairy again.
And then you can time the dash up that way. Just by one of them.
You actually can cancel stair lag there, and it's slightly faster. It actually is like 6 seconds faster, and it might be worth looking into. But in a task environment, it's definitely worth it.
I always messed up the other thing, and it gives you more chances to get it right.
But yeah, I do like having the K menu here. It's way better, but
that's what Cutie's little idea, but it's also kind of common sense thing.
It actually is my idea. He's right, because when he made this was like 4 months after I came up with that Vitreous strat, which is like a godlike Vitreous strat, and nobody knew about it. And I'm like, dude, you guys gotta learn this fucking Vitreous strat.
I think it's a little bit safer overall.
It's so fucking rigged. Look at this shit.
And it gives you more chances to get it right.
Look at this shit, guys. So the reason it's so rigged is you can actually slash those guys. Look at that. Look how fucking fast it is.
Cutie's little idea, but it's also kind of common sense thing.
Again, just like too low. So this is obviously the timer. You guys are gonna be like, what the hell? What is this timer? It doesn't make any sense. So the fire rate's about 36 seconds. It's 36 to 37 seconds. Sometimes it's 39. But I think 37's your best estimate. Like 36, 38 is your best estimate. So if you want to get a, what is that in real time or more realer time? In the early Ice Rod route, it's like a 601 or 602. Zelda's is a 730. Yeah, I think Zelda's is a 736. So a minute. It's like a minute 29. I gotta go to the bathroom again. But yeah, that ice rod thing is going to be a hell of a time because it's not fun to time that.
And yeah, I should have done a 3-heart video here. Anyway, this is my favorite thing of the Godtas.
Yeah, he did it wrong. He actually did that wrong. And I'll prove it to you guys. Because maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, I should have done a 3-heart video here. Anyway, this is my favorite thing of the Godtas.
It actually loses a frame if you do it left, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it might go even though. God, let's fucking hope this is yeah, I think this is good. Bird dash. Okay. How to dash into your bird without missing him. In theory. Yeah, he posted this too. And it's the same as key dashing. But it has to do with scrolling the screen, I'm pretty sure. So whatever, no one really cares about that. Yeah, this is the gold right here. After Meyer, there's no British. Walk down the stairs and dash into the right wall. If your bird catches you while the screen is shaking, you have a 50-50 chance to save the frame. Doesn't work on stairs. Doesn't work with the left wall. So most people miss that. It only works on the right wall and it doesn't work on stairs. Most people actually miss that. And then the either example and the ice palace example, they're actually both really good examples. Move right until you top of the edge, dash left. This is actually true. It's very, very, very good idea. It's very fast. It's brain dead. And this is the other one, actually. Again, completely brain dead. So, really neat little thing there. And, again, it doesn't work on the stairs, and it doesn't work on the left wall. I actually do think it's slower on the left wall.
And yeah, I should have done a 3-heart video.
And why it doesn't work on the stairs, I'm guessing, is because your movement's staggered, actually. So, it's the same thing if you... It's the same reason I think you don't get a pixel boost. If in, like, the sword cutscene, you don't get a pixel boost. Why don't you get a pixel boost? Because I think it's because of the 2-1 movement. Actually, that's why I think. Well, I don't know. So on the stairs, your movement's staggered. That's why I think.
Anyway, this is my...
The game like reads there or something. So he does it on the left wall on the stairs, which neither one of those work. A lot of people make that mistake though. Fun fact too, you can hold A and then press left. And for the mountain, you can just hold A. You don't have to mash it. Actually, mashing it's slower. But even for ice rod, just hold A and then press left. It's like it's a huge window.
Perfect.
Well, that's crazy.
Oh, this is...
I have a different visual cue for that.
I got an extra couple pumps this way.
Oh yeah, this is dope as fuck. And it is faster. That's interesting. So I don't go for ice rod spin speed because if you do the stair dash thing, it's barely slower. And especially in real time, it's like tied. So I'm not doing that shit.
And it's got a pause buffer to time the door, to aim at the door on the way out. No setup there either for the flute dash.
I think the best way to
walking through the sky is just...
I got the top half faster as well, like marginally faster. They have to do it perfectly. But I think it's easier.
Squirrel was standing. If you dash, if he's not there, that's the fastest spot. But he was blocking it.
Oh, he goes left. Weird. He goes under it. I know it's above faster. I'll time that.
Quick dash coming up is really neat because I didn't know how to time it.
Oh yeah.
I have one black pixel of shadow on the quick square. But every screen shake, every major screen shake, it start 5 times real slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I just react. I do it in reaction. That's a really good way to do it in real time.
Oh, and I forgot to skip the magic there. Honestly, that's probably the biggest mistake.
Blind is.
You can skip the magic there.
I think blind's a bigger mistake because it's straightforward. There's actually like bigger time losses, but nothing's as straightforward as blind.
But yeah, you can come up with your own timing for him.
You can also skip the bomb actually if you get the A drop, which is like pretty reliable.
Pausing after the quake there, but you do the quick speed off the top of the stairs. I really tried to make going right a lot faster for that spike, but it ended up not working. The spike's
you can do the second half of that faster.
1.5. So I figured if you go wide right, get a lucky hook shot, the borderline lucky one. Then
oh yeah, Mike, sick fucking door. Oh no, he doesn't do the door. Yeah, you can, if you turn right, you can dash to that door. So that's the biggest mistake right there. I came up with that 2015. No, I've never seen anyone do it. I think Zelda tried doing it once, so whatever. Yeah, this is sick too. And you know what? That's sicker than how I've ever seen it before, so that might be replicatable. So he's above the pegs, which is cool because you don't nudge. But also, he's a pixel left, it seems like. So I'm definitely going to look into
this is what I'm doing.
Really good. This right here is faster. It's insanely difficult to do.
Jumps if I have beams.
It's insanely difficult to do optimally.
That's like...
It's better if transfer found. It might be better, but it's fucked.
Ramen block blast. And you get... invincibility almost just about all the way to the chest. Which if you do the other strats, beam strats or Brahmin block blast, if you do them the fastest way, there's a little arrow grab. If you do them the fastest way, then you only get half of that time of invincibility. So you might have to walk around them anyway.
Nice key grab, that was sick.
I did the switch setup. This is actually the first time I'm doing the switch setup or remembering to beam that.
So, is magic skip worth it? Let's think about that. Because you can't get the magic in the first room of Skullwood, or of T-Rock. So, that's fine. Actually, you can get it. Yeah, you can. And sometimes you don't get it. It's the problem. You can actually go through this rail right here. Or it's not even a rail. This is a rail, but you can go through this particle and then another diagonal. Which I'm not convinced it saves time, but I think it does, like 3 frames. Oh yeah, so the beam strat is faster than this. Actually, I don't know if it's faster, but you can do the beam strat and actually door dash out. It only works, and it's the coolest thing in my opinion, because if you press down and then press up, this thing goes off screen. But if you press down and then you don't press up, it doesn't go off screen. So if you have to press down and A and then press right and dash, and the switch doesn't go off screen. So if you get a perfect, it requires like 2 perfect dashes. You have to hit a 1 pixel. It's a 1 pixel you have to hit. But then you have to press A. You have to stop your dash 1 frame after you press. You have to press A. You have to slash 1 frame after you stop your dash. Because if you do that, you don't move, and so it doesn't despawn the switch. Right? Is that how it works? Right, and the reason is because that way you can DoorDash out, right? So that's why. It's so you DoorDash out. So if you dashed 2 pixels above this and if you went 1 frame down, I think that would work. But the easy way to do it is to dash onto like a clearly hit the pixel and then press it. So it's like 3 frame perfect inputs in a row. So you have 1 pixel to do this, which is 1 frame input. You have to stop your dash on 1 frame, and then you have to press A, down A within 1 frame. So you have to do 3 1 frame inputs in a row. But what happens is, and they're not particularly hard 1 frame inputs, but what happens is you actually get the beam and the DoorDash out, and it's like 20 or 30 frames. It's so fucking cool. It is sort of doable. It's sort of real-time friendly too, because if you press down and then press slash, you just don't go for the DoorDash.
Oh yeah, that was a little awkward.
You don't lose that much.
Again, in tower group.
But that is a 6
Yeah, you can go up top either way. It's reacting to the squirrel there.
Yeah, so this is sick because it skips the roller cycle.
If you know you got.
Also, I found out with a strat that's slightly faster. If you don't have beams, you can dash into this, and it sends you down here, and then you can dash up.
Yeah.
But it only works if you have like 11 hearts or 10 hearts or something, and you get the roller cycle. So it's very rare.
Aga Tower, so.
Nice dash, that's sick.
You don't want to beam.
That dash is actually pretty dope, because what happens is you don't nudge against that block and move up. So that's like kind of a good idea.
Against the block.
Also, this early thing is neat. In my testing, you want to slash right here, and then you get a perfect diagonal.
As the first beam going up, because the block will eat it. And then for your last beam, you can swing your sword up a couple pixels before you actually get into that clearing to go up, because you got that for the beam to travel to the switch. No, beams are. I was getting.
This is sick too. He presses. You can do down and A on frame there. I think he should go right. Although he did get the knockoff.
Too much to explain. Faster than the Brahmin block blast.
Yeah, he knocks him off. If you knock him off, it saves 40 frames. It's a big deal.
Oh yeah, read the notes for this stream. There's too much to explain.
I'm surprised he didn't go for the nudgeless lineup. Like, might as well.
The strat is good. Don't doubt it.
Let's see what that strat is. I think he just nudges a little bit.
The strat is good. Don't doubt it.
Which can't say I would do. This is slower. This actually loses time for magic. It like legit loses time. That's how unreasonable is to skip the magic. Like never skip the magic.
That's a good safety too, but it's gonna be slower than that one.
I don't like menuing there. It's just a slower menu. And I'm not certain about this, but I think you want the head to go less distance. So if you're all the way down here, it goes really far out. But if you're right here, it barely goes out. I'm not certain about that, but I think it would save like 10 frames.
It's safer, but it's slower than what I just did. This was one of the first ones I tested. I was like, nah. super late split? Nah. Impossible that I got looking.
So my gold's a 651.9. It's almost a 51.27. I know 48 is possible. I'm 100% certain about that. But let's see what this was. Yeah, why isn't this on the leaderboard? Is there proof that this is not a task? I did something wrong here. This is something's wrong. It's 47. 47. Okay. So that's a 722.3. Again with the ice rod, so take 22.3 minus 36 plus 60. So this is a 46.3. I said I know 48 is possible. 48.9 in real time I know it's possible. This did not have God Hoagies, which is 2 seconds, so and actually it's like 2.5 seconds. So yeah, I do actually think 48.9 is possible. Or 48 is possible for sure. Let's see what Meyer was. I would say 625.05. This is probably the biggest difference. So assume the ice rod's 36 seconds. You're looking at a 701. My gold's a 707. Zelda gold is a 707, I think. I think it's a 705.5 with the menu, so it ends up being like a 706.8. Mine's a 706.9. So that's not too bad, actually. Like, it's not too bad.
Lag frames anyway.
But we're definitely losing time on that. And I guess it's the overworld.
Let's see what's in Granite Tower here. Oh, there's a little clip in T-Rock you can do the same way as that first escape clip, but it wasn't good to use in real time.
Yeah, this loses 30 frames
Basically.
if you're touching that. And I don't think he's touching it, but if you're touching that, it loses 30 frames.
Oh yeah, this entrance here. If you don't time letting go right, then holding it the whole time is faster. But if you time letting go right, then you
It is faster, yeah.
frames.
It's sick as fuck. I wish more people do that or went for it. Like, it's free time.
What does yours do different? Try next.
Notice how long he held the pot.
This room was kind of hard to get right.
And honestly, it's all that last part where I lose time on him. I almost always throw the pot sooner, but I always fuck up.
What does yours do different?
Yeah, I never hold the pot that high. Maybe I should.
Try next. This room was kind of hard to get right. And this room is a little bit weird.
This strat's sick. So when I was timing it, this is actually slower than just hookshotting. Hookshotting is slower. So I don't know why he's going for that.
These few rooms are kind of important.
Maybe because he can
The
boomerang,
blue block, throw the boom there.
but maybe that's why. But I don't.
For timing, so you get an instability fast.
Also, Jadin was really raving about this when he did it, but I it's another thing I disagree with him on.
Throw the boom there. For timing.
So when I timed it, so this is actually dependent on this snake. It's not dependent on the top snake. It's dependent on this snake. It needs to coil. If it doesn't coil, there's no way to beat it unless you get the damageless and it's like everything's perfect. But it's just not realistic. The only way to realistically skip this fire snake is to have it coil. If it coils, everything will skip it because it wastes so much time. And it coils a little bit here, but he also gets the deboost, which is why he gets this so reliably. But notice that he was pretty much going to get hit. If he didn't get that coil, he pretty much would have gotten hit.
And then get knocked.
And that's how that room works.
And that's consistent for this room. You're gonna take a heart of damage and save a bunch of frames.
It's not consistent though.
50 or 60.
It does save a second though. I saved like 70 frames. I thought. So down right is slower there than diagonal right. It's really dumb. I couldn't get down right to be faster. Like 20 attempts to 50 attempts.
Oh, this ice armos is cute too.
Oh, this must be the fucking pause. This thing's so meme.
Even
Meme-tastic.
RNG in that room is consistent.
Jadin says it's consistent and I remember talking about this. And it might actually be consistent, but I don't think it is. He was looking at the top snake. He never looked at the bottom snake.
So it's worth it to take a heart damage.
Yeah. So this strat, you actually don't need to do this. If you go right and then start arrowing, it basically is the same thing. And actually, for my timing, it was the same. It was the same speed. It's super easy. That's actually not hard. That's not hard to do. But he goes left, and if you go left, it's like 100 times harder.
If you're still and then move out of your dash, or just
it might be
something
faster,
nice.
and I think it is faster. But just go right and then arrow them. It's actually a real time. It's a real time friendly strat. This turn is not real time friendly. But if you just go right, it actually is real time friendly.
Locks your animation in place.
So, fun fact too, I think walking into that big key is faster than dashing, only in real time, and it's only because it's hard to start pumping from the dash.
And yeah, see in the notes you can save. If you're just fast with the arrows, you'll save a little bit of lag in ice armos.
It doesn't be the thing.
In this next room,
I think reducing the lag in this game is the most important thing. Which, if you do the second 2 arrows really slow, it does that.
if you get the red Cyclops.
By the way, that mimics 2 strat everybody should do. It's like
But when you hit the
by
switch,
far.
holding the pod out, if the red Cyclops is going straight up instead of left like that.
Yeah. So if he goes straight up instead of left, you can throw this down, and then it's really good. It's half a second.
Then you can go down, throw the pot, and just dash straight down. And you'll save half a second.
It might be worth it to do that, honestly. Like, just like learn it and just like keep mana up.
It is random. I felt like getting.
I was testing perfect, mashing here, and I was also testing like timing it. I think if you time it right here and here, it's way better. You can save like 8 frames reliably. I really like this strat. I think it's 6 hell.
I kept like accidentally.
It's super
getting
consistent.
RNG, and I was like, well, alright.
I was really lucky.
I wanted to keep it like a little bit random, but
So I was timing if you get his attention and then go down two frames or like 5 frames into this ice, he doesn't shoot. And it's like it's probably slower than that, but it's really fast.
well, that's not perfect.
And I mean that might be worth it. I don't think it is.
Fish
I'm gonna
arrows here.
play safe.
Just straight fire rod and
That's actually honestly it's true, and it's slower in real time, but it doesn't matter.
grab the
It ends up being way
right at
faster.
the end.
This Armus loses time with Lambo. If you can kill the right guy from the left, and then you can kill the bottom guy
Right
twice,
after the last
it's like 30
explosion,
frames
sort of
faster.
da-da.
Like 15 to 30.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that, and then you dash out.
And actually, I was timing it. It's not very perfect. So if you press A on the exact last frame that the last particle blows up, you bonk. It's 4 frames after or something, 5 frames, but in real time it's the same frame. Dashing
You wanna dash up
faster.
there unless that guy is ominously right next to you.
That was really good. That was faster than Cypher's
Dash-
practice hack SMV. That's the fastest I've ever seen anybody do it. Have fast Cypher do
Yes,
it.
that
This is
guy is-
faster. And you know what it was? He placed the cane and moves diagonal. That's interesting. That's probably replicatable. Okay. I'm gonna put that down.
You want to dash up there unless that guy is
Yeah, look at this. I don't do that.
ominously right next to you. And just to clear this up, I don't think anyone ever said this pixel's 100% safe, but the odds are you want to do that.
Yeah, just fucking do that.
People were talking about it, but getting
Yeah, so if you do this, it's faster, but it's just...
So-
I've
so
tried
think
doing
about
that.
that
It's
right
not worth it.
so that you're moving right while that your magic bar is refilled about it, but getting
I mean, maybe. Like, I could try it again, I guess.
so fire rod up right there, so that you're moving right while that your magic bar is refilling.
I'll try it out.
No, I couldn't get the other way faster than that.
I don't like doing this for the helmet key. I'll do it. Also, I'm pretty sure this doesn't have the jingle skip, which saves like 19 frames. Oh no, it yeah, no, it had it.
Hovering on a PlayStation
Okay.
controller is a lot worse because you don't get the same surface area, and that's kind of not the fastest.
He also doesn't do the if you slash right here, save 7 frames.
That pixel right
He got it anyway, but I think the slash
there
is
is
better
the safe one
because it's reliable.
for dashing out. You don't have the hook. If you have the hook and you hook to that block, then that range below the block is in fact safe. But if you don't have the hook, it's only that pixel that works. So if you dash and you don't land on that pixel, then cancel your dash before the wall.
This is a 2 cycle setup. Well, I think it's a 3. He must get a blue ball.
And yeah, this gets a 3 cycle because even if you get a 3 cycle, I'll get 2 imperfect. You can still get.
I'm sure you can get
121,
121.
of course.
Yeah, you can definitely get 121. I do think a 122 will happen one day. I don't think a 121 will.
Nope. Gonna have to suck up the tricycle.
641. Not actually that good. Almost a tally like it's an Aghanim too. My goals is 47. His only goals is 48. So, and both of us have 2 cycles, so I've almost gotten 42s before. Like, legit, I've almost gotten a 42. And where am I saving time? I don't menu, so there's a little bit of time save. Like, I don't do the hookshot menu. 2 cycle. It's a lot. The better hover, especially on the left side. I'm guessing Gauntlet, Lambo too, actually. I'm guessing Gauntlet. So. No, I'm skipping the chest. The air chest, so you actually can't get like 39s. I think the human limit right now is a 42. A 42 or a 41.
I don't think there's anything to say about Ganon, really. I didn't do the first cape spin off the first fire rod torch. Yeah. The notes say it a little bit better than this, but you're holding down left out of when you hook out of.
So here's something to say. He didn't slash first frame, and I noticed this when I was watching my own VODs. I was not doing slashing first frame also, and it's very easy to miss. It's very easy to just like not do it.
You're holding down left out.
Yeah, look at that. So he's losing like what 10 frames on that.
Out of the block, and that's what makes that spot the same consistent.
So he got a second frame there,
I think
which obviously it's a frame roll. So the first 4 you want to hit within the first 4.
At least I wasn't. Probably.
It looks like he got a second frame.
Doing it from a hole.
Nice. But again, I mean, obviously that's cool, but you lose a bunch of time.
Oh yeah, that's a little key.
That's sick as fuck, dude. Like, honestly, I will give it to him.
If you pull the wall away while the tile is disappearing from under you on the right.
I will say too, I think you can actually get a case on this.
Oh yeah, that's a little cute thing. If you pull the wall away while the tile is disappearing from under you on the right.
So you actually, yeah, you can get a case on that. So if you hit the edge with your spin, you'll maintain sword out, and then you light the torch. You actually can get a case from there. There's an audio cue for it too, which is why it's valuable.
You'll pull away from the wall.
I think he did this whole thing in one attempt though, so it wasn't like super like, oh, that's good, really, really crazy shit.
What was I talking about before? I think I cut it in. Oh yeah, holding down left out of the hook. I probably tried to pump or something, and that's why it didn't work. I don't know.
And then also dashing in the middle is faster in real time. And he lost frames on that because we'll see. I mean, unless this is a perfect game dash, I don't think it is. Yeah, look how many. So you actually lose that. That actually, like, if you start your dash right here, and this is doable in real time, you can end up right here. So it'll save like three or 4 frames. Okay, that's it. 32. It should be a 30 or 31. Yeah, this is a 30, so it should be 31. It should be the last frame. So I'm gonna do 31. Four, 8, 6, 8. So I thought it was at 120.12. It's actually at 121.08 because I don't know, for some reason this timer got all fucked. Who knows? Maybe the video was lagging or something because it was playing on the frame counter says 21.08. Could that go down to 120? Yeah, almost certainly. Even if you discount Lambo 2, Aga 2, Hellway, all random RNG stuff. Blind, the Ganon slashing, the new updated strats, the crystal, the guy grabbing the crystals higher, just like random updated strats, all the lag stuff. You're probably looking at like 5-10 seconds. So I definitely think 120.50. Plus, just doing the screens faster, which is like insanely hard to do, but that's magically in the saving another 50 seconds, like just like really silly. But I mean that's actually not a perfect Ganon. That's a 139. It looks like, which you can get 136. I'm pretty sure. I think maybe you can get the 135. Yeah, everything is done in real time per screen, except for the flute dash screen. The flute when you activate the bird. Apparently, he accidentally made a save state on the flute dash, so that's in 2 segments. But 139 again. So learned some interesting stuff. Not a whole lot, just because little outdated. Plus, a lot of task stuff you just can't do. It's not feasible. So, I didn't learn too much, but I did reevaluate a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things I really want to practice. I did learn some really interesting stuff as well. Just good ideas. Really good ideas all around. I would say what's my favorite thing? I don't know. There's a lot of things I really liked from that. Anyway, guys, thank you, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. And if you like Link to the Past, I hope you guys learned something. If you speedrun Link to the Past, I hope you guys get better runs. Hope you guys PB. Have a great day.